got a
not
fucking
recording
sword.
everything. I will
Look
point
at
this
this.
out. The other
New
thing I did get
setup.
for Christmas.
It
This
is
is a graphics tablet,
Oh,
and
I'm
I
here too.
love it.
Yes, you're here too, Red. Red is in here. She's doing the pub running from in here. Normally she does it out there, but today she's in here because someone stole the third screen from the other computer.
Who was that, Rival?
Test
No
1, 2, 3.
idea.
Yes. Okay.
The monitor
Oh,
fairy.
third screen.
All
It was
working.
the monitor
All
fairy.
We're working. The
Still on my
says we're
full
working.
screen. It's got to get on my level. Yeah.
Hello, Mitch.
Midge out here with his fucking 75 screens.
I mean, if we include the ones under the desk.
Maybe.
Getting critiqued by not having enough computer screens by the most painfully middle class man in the entire world.
You're
I was about to say in America, then you remembered
America.
he's not.
Well, I remember. I'm sorry, it was the collared shirt underneath the sweater that made
I
me
was
think
at work today. Leave off.
Was you selling fine paintings or something?
No.
Then again, I shouldn't be saying anything because I am wearing a Riverboat Gambler's mustache right now. So that's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
yeah.
that you're proud of that or anything.
yes. Yeah.
He's a cattle baron, actually, from the 17th century. We just brought him forward in time.
I got me a mess of longhorns. I'm bringing into Oklahoma.
Okay.
This
All
is
right.
correct.
Yes. Okay, so I think we're all good. Are you good, Midge? Thumbs up.
Yep,
Are you good?
all good.
Everything's good. Oh, okay. So it's been a while. By that I mean it's been a month since we've done anything. That's actually yes, it has been a month, right? It's been almost 3.5 weeks or more. Yeah. But yeah, we're back. We left off last game having finished a major arc and everybody leveling up. So everybody now is level 8 in the campaign. So, you know, that's there's been a lot of new things. People picked up a couple of feats. We'll see that as over the next couple of games, most likely. But yeah, we I'll do the recap here. Last time we finished off the arc by having a kind of a one-on-one fight with the it resulted in a one-on-one fight kind of at the end between brother and sister, but a kind of a Gangs of New York kind of meeting engagement between the Turquoise Company and Zivka's little gang that went actually fairly well, I guess, for you guys. You did have, I think it was probably the closest many of you have ever been to being outright defeated, because there was I think who got to, like, I think it was Sesh got to 0 HP or close to
I
it.
got the 6.
This was the
Yeah.
first fight I wasn't like destroyed in.
This was
Yeah,
another
no,
fight
but you
where I
you
actually
were
didn't get any damage
painfully
again.
you were painfully non-effective though for a lot of those spell uses.
Yes, you kept
You used you kept missing,
until
and
the
you
end,
also
you were like,
you
oh.
used the polymorph, and it was
My polymorph got counted, but damage-wise, I did like
damage-wise you did okay, yeah.
soon as the Shadow Blade came out.
Not as effective as
I
you
just-
wanted to be. You
No.
really
Destroyed
wanted
Zivka,
to be
thank
you wanted to use the utilities to immediately win the fight,
Yeah.
but that did not happen.
So I went for plan Psychic Blade and did like
yeah,
over
you went for
100.
plan kill. So plan kill. But
Opposed
yeah,
to
that
plan
was all.
subdue.
You would.
But it ended with Zivka losing, and the requirements of the challenge were pushed forward, where she would be banished from the tribe, and the family's heirloom axe, Cleave, to be given to Ustenia. Well, actually, to be brought back to the family, but you were allowed to keep it, or you were given it by your brother. A lot.
Yeah.
As a thing. So that means Ustenia now is pretty OP in some way. I think your max damage roll with two-handed on that is a 27, and that's 12 damage of necrotic on there, which is pretty badass. So
That's not raging, by the way.
Yeah, it's no Jesus. Yeah, it's not raging. My God, I just realized that. Mitch just realized the same thing I did. Oh my god.
I like how I'm the only one who realized he didn't roll with rage.
Imagine if you crit with that. Because don't you get brutal criticals?
At
Not
the
yet.
moment, no.
No, you don't. But you get
But you
something.
will.
You
I
will.
get a bonus to the damage roll that increases as I gain level. So I think it's like a +1, then it's a +2 after level.
Yeah,
I can't
it's
remember.
A lot. It's a lot. He's
Yeah.
got a Ustinian's
It's a
got
lot
a
of
really nice
damage.
It's a
That's a
lot
lot
of
of
damage.
damage.
But yeah, you have that, and we ended off last episode with you lot finally deciding to go back to Takova to do some research, gather some possibly other individuals for your expedition to the central deserts of the Grey Wastes.
To find some meat for the grinder.
Mm.
Yeah,
To find some red
Mm.
shirts.
So you decided to do that, and we left. Also, I think you also don't you have like an obscene amount of dragon hide?
Oh yeah.
Yes, I'm getting
So-
some new armor.
Yes.
Yeah, you have an obscene amount of dragon hide that was given to you. That
I
was-
also have like the heart and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. You took the alchemical useful stuff. So yeah. So you've got that kind of with you, plus a lot of money and things to spend and to kind of go to market. So we left off with you leaving, but we're going to kind of gloss over because if I recall, none of you really wanted to stop in the cities at all. You wanted,
We wanted
to
to
just
head
straight,
straight there.
just
We
a
wanted to get
straight. You didn't.
To Cova, that was where we were heading. That's where we were going to get all our information. So
Yeah, so you,
We did.
so you didn't want to
divvy up
head to the
what we were
Rovan
doing
Road.
as well, I think, didn't we? So should we just
Yeah.
like confirm? Like,
Yeah,
I know.
We
I
can
know
say
my.
you guys are taking the time, and you'll have time to talk on the way there. Since
Yeah.
you can't. Oh, yeah.
So I know. I think we suggested that I was gonna, because I don't have money, and the rest of you kind of wanted to do shopping, and get a lot of shopping stuff sorted. I was
Yeah.
gonna like start helming the search for hirelings, like mercenaries, anything we could try and find to help us for our next expedition into the desert.
yes,
But the other, who was handling like the sale of anything that we needed
our
to sell?
merchant, who's not
Oh,
here at the moment.
it's okay. It's
Yes.
Mikey. Good.
The one
Fantastic.
whose backstory is based around being a merchant. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Was there anything else we needed to cover?
Yes, I need to use my the dragon hide because I was going to hopefully try and get a
Yeah.
stealth bonus by making that into an armor, and I need a sword because I've got dual wield now,
Oh. Okay. So you've been
which gives me
you-
Oh,
one
yeah,
bonus
you got the-
AC when I'm in close combat.
nice.
Yeah, because you need that.
Well, it was simply a case of I was constantly staying at range because that's where all my damage was. But if I have dual wield, I can get in close. The extra AC keeps me kind of
Alive.
alive. I do get +4 AC if someone tries to attack me multiple times in the same turn.
Yeah. I'm gonna
Nice.
say the AC wasn't really a problem. You have 16 AC, which is a fairly
but-
average AC for a D&D party at level 8.
Yeah.
Really, it's just your HP. But even that's
we-
not bad.
Do we want to discuss like what we did, like just a quick overview for everyone for our level ups, like to the audience?
Well, I was
Yeah,
just
good
going to let it
idea.
happen naturally, but yeah,
Okay.
if you want to.
No, that's fine.
Sure.
Okay. So Isaac's level up was pretty simple. I grabbed
Spells!
Warcaster.
Spells!
I grabbed Warcaster and one other spell because that's what I get at level 8. I took
Because it's a
the feat
sorcerer.
Warcaster. So
Well, at least
but,
that makes
um,
you more. When you're actually in close combat, you're going to be able to just hit people from multiple angles, aren't you?
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be.
He
It's
doesn't
just
take
even more
attacks
utility.
of opportunity or not, or he doesn't incur attacks of opportunity by casting in melee. Now,
Yeah,
so
and I can cast spells as my attacks of opportunity as well,
Sweet.
which is fun.
which
So
so
if I
like
have-
shocking grasp is really good now. 'cause
Yeah,
you can,
or
you can
inflict
stop
wounds,
somebody.
which I-
Or inflict wounds, good too. Yeah.
or even things like sleep or confusion or things
Yeah.
like that.
There's a lot. It's a good one. So yeah,
Hmm.
Isaac got some good stuff. We already know what Rivallon got with your dual wield, which I
You
think wasn't that up.
multiclass. That's
Yeah.
Yeah, I did got level 1 in fighter as well, because once I get
Yeah,
to, I
that
think
was-
it's level 2, I get once a day a ability to
Action
like,
surge.
do
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
double the attacks once. So
Which
with
you can
either
do
my
with
swords or my
yeah.
bow, I get 4 attacks.
It's good. It's really good.
Mm.
It's really good.
Yeah.
It's a good synergy. It's a good synergy. What did Sesh get for her level up?
Sesh's level up was pretty simple. She got another level 4 spell slot. And I also got my ability score improvement, which I got a plus 1 to con and a plus 1 to wisdom, which maxed out my wisdom.
Yeah, no, 20 wisdom, which is
20 wisdom.
pretty
First-
good.
I think I'm the first PC to hit 20 in the stat.
Yeah,
Possibly.
because I don't believe Arwan.
Yeah,
Was it one-
I'm 2 off of 20 strength, but I'm not taking any ability modifiers. I want them dank feats.
Them
Yeah,
dank
you're
feats.
the same as me. I want the utility things.
I
Nice.
want them to make the sword and board barbarian build, but obviously
That's
axe
good.
and board.
Please
So,
take
yeah,
Tavern
some-
Brawler and just start throwing people.
Well, that's a good segue. What did you get, Ustenia?
Oh,
Or Utara?
I obviously upgrading to level 8. I didn't really get much in terms of like class-based abilities. Instead, I took a feat. I took Sentinel.
Yeah,
And for
Sentinel,
those,
the most broken feat in 5th edition. Yes.
yes, yes. So that allows me to
Yes, Midge.
when I use an opportunity attack against creatures, their speed becomes 0 for the rest of the turn. Creatures provoke opportunity attacks even if they take the disengage action, and
Yep.
when a creature within 5 feet of me makes an attack against another target other than me, I can use my reaction to make an attack against them.
Yeah, actually, funny story.
Yeah, that's
kind
broken.
of- yeah,
Yeah.
It's
It's
a funny
what's
story.
known
That
as
was kind of
anti-rogue.
Demir's. Yeah, that was kind of Demir's build. Demir had the
Yeah.
ability of attacking people that attacked, or attacking anybody that attacked like a friend within 5 feet of him. So he could do the same thing during his build for Demir, but he never got to use it because you guys always wrecked shit before it got to his turn.
We just
Now,
fucking destroyed things.
effectively,
didn't
I could
mean to-
potentially get up to 3 attacks every round.
Yeah.
Right? Because I've only got
Yeah.
1 react each round, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But- Yeah.
Yeah, it's something. They took
With-
a lot of really
with
good
the,
stuff.
with the weapon cleave as well, no less. Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Oh,
for those that
yeah.
don't
And
know,
we were
this
discussing
axe
that.
is disgusting.
Yeah, we discussed that. Cleave is a
Cleave is
major
disgusting.
campaign. Cleave is a major campaign reward. That's the purpose of it. It was a major
Yeah,
campaign
that's why
reward.
it's fucking disgusting.
Yeah, that's probably the best weapon you'll find for Ustenia. That it was kind of it's his family's axe. It's kind of meant for
It's
him.
built to be a barbarian weapon. It's
Yeah.
their thing.
Well, it actually only benefits barbarians. If you had it and you weren't a barbarian, or actually
You don't get
it's-
necrotic. You have to be raging
Yeah.
to get the 2d6 necrotic damage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so he has to be raging, and you have to be barbarian.
Gonna
have-
multi-class into barbarian next level.
Yeah, technically you can't. Technically
Just
you can,
for rage.
as long as you have.
Technically,
one
I can. I have a high
class.
enough constitution. Technically, I
Yeah.
can multi-class.
But yes,
barbarian.
that's what happened during your guys' level up, and you've all. We'll say basically this journey because I've already done the rolls for you guys because I had a long time. No, for your pace, you actually do very
Oh,
well
right.
on the return trip. You're all kind of jazzed. You've spent a long time in country. Kind of, you want to get back. You're driven to get this done quickly. Like you've gotten some information over the last couple of weeks about like who may be there and some things going on in the location that in the central deserts. And that kind of drives you things going on. So you actually are able to get back to the border within about 5 days. So you're cutting about 2 days off of your journey. You're making a good pace. You're pushing fairly hard, but you're still getting like enough sleep. You're not incurring your exhaustion or anything. And you don't encounter anything on the way back. Actually, I also rolled that. It's pretty uneventful. In fact, you on the way back, even though it's been how many weeks has it been? Because you spent 2 weeks in a coma.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you spent 2 weeks in a coma.
It's
you
been a
spent
month.
It's been a month.
Yeah,
Even
roughly.
though it's been a month since you came up here, because of Ustenia's familiar with the area, you actually find some of your campsites that are basically untouched. Like it's a steppe. There's not a lot to really disturb it. So you're camping in a lot of the same places. Yeah, you get back to the border after about 5 days, where you can see again that you're back on the road, and you get to the Tarlis River. That is the border between the Uteshian Steppe Kingdoms and the Gull River Republics. But it's a bit different. When you approach, previously what was a small kind of ramshackle shack that functioned as the headquarters for the little border checkpoint that you had encountered before has been replaced. You see a stone and wood construction, moderately sized building with an actual like shingled roof, standing where that shack used to be. And you also see 2 long gray tents arrayed on the opposite side of the road that building sits on. And there is a larger guard presence.
Did the Steppe Kingdoms launch missile attacks into them when we wanted to do something?
No,
You know?
Isaac
Well,
did
hey,
something
guess when
stupid,
this
no
was
doubt.
recorded.
This shit's been dated so hardcore.
I mean,
Well-
it's like, yeah, I mean,
Well, yeah, it's dated because I can say, hey, we're not technically at war right now. But then again, I haven't
Don't get
listened
drafted,
to-
Roach.
so
I-
those of
I've
you
got-
listening from your
I've
shelf,
got asthma.
That's true. Yeah.
I'm 27 years old and I got asthma. I'm fucking fine. They ain't gonna come for me unless shit's going
Don't
bad.
get drafted, Crimson. Good luck.
yeah, don't get drafted, Crimson.
oh no.
That one's actually possible. That one's
Yeah, it is.
actually possible. So,
Considering, yeah, because he's a vet as well.
he's a vet. He would be one of the first. Yeah. So yeah.
It's not conscripted; it's being called up, isn't it? If you're a
Yeah,
vet.
you can be
Yes,
you can be recalled. You can be
Recalled.
recalled.
Service.
Yeah.
Recall the service. 'cause
And
that's
the
a part
UK
of
has
their
the same
contract.
thing.
Yeah, we do.
The only
Don't
actually,
get
it's
drafted,
funny.
Midge.
It's funny. Little side story. It's funny. One of the guys I used to play airsoft with and stuff like that had a friend that got recalled during the Iraq kind of situation, everything. But the guy, after he got out of the army, gained 80 pounds. So when he came back, he was just wearing his jacket and he's like super overweight, like tough. And the sergeant, that guy just go, just fucking go home, man. just go home.
You don't need to be
There
here.
you have
Oh.
it, folks. Avoid conscription. Go eat McDonald's.
Become obese. I just fucking love that story because the delivery is just like, just fucking go home. Just what are you doing here?
I'd have to spend
What?
half of my day training you getting back into shape before you go
Yeah.
out.
It's not even fucking worth it. Yeah.
Take 6
But
months
either-
of having to go through basic training over and over and over
Yeah, over
and
and
over
over
again,
again.
and then we
Uh,
can send you out.
You even fucking do a push-up? Yeah, no, so, but yeah, you see
That would-
2 long tents arrayed on the opposite side of the road, and you see a larger guard presence here than was previously. Because previously there were 2 guards on each, like, little end of the bridge. You see those, but you also see, like, you wouldn't call it a squad, because a squad would be like 10 or 12 people. This is like maybe like 5 or 6 that are doing things around this little area.
Fire team.
Yeah,
A
fire.
detachment, if you would.
Half squad. Detachment. Yeah. Group. They and you also see merchants of various different types are kind of waiting. There's a queue set up that looks to be going out of the Gull Rivers. And there looks like there's a place for a queue going into the Gull Rivers, but there's nobody there.
So we go
Okay.
over and queue up at the entrance.
Yeah, it seems the tents are meant for 2 different things. There's one that for the going out and there's one for going in. So you see, and that's over the bridge, on the opposite side of the bridge. So that's what you see approaching. What do you do?
This looks probably somewhat familiar to Sesh because she's seen a lot of placements and a lot of various conflicts in the Grey Waste when it comes to just general hazards there, I'd assume. So this probably looks pretty familiar to her.
There was tension
Somewhere.
between these guys and Teutonia, wasn't it?
Yep.
Something
yeah,
like that.
there's-
All
it's
I'm
been there
saying
for
is
a
we
while.
do not let Isaac like negotiate on our behalf. Not after the last time we tried to negotiate and got us stuck there for 6 hours.
I merely inquired a question as to a
You
criminal.
didn't. You tried to like lie about how we were so important on diplomatic mission.
No. That was our one. Remember?
And he
Yeah,
succeeded.
And he succeeded. I fucked up
literally
in the, way
the only
of
reason-
I asked a question.
Yeah,
Yeah, because a diplomatic party really wants to know about criminals.
Also,
That's
they
the-
said you were blind.
Yeah, and he saw the like they didn't trust you at that point. You also challenged authority technically to their perspective. Little tin pot,
Fucking TSA.
But yeah, you see that, and yes, last time you basically there's been tension between the Republics and Teutonia for a while because Teutonia claims the western shore of the Gull Rivers as sovereign, as their own like territory, or their rightful territory. But that's that's part of the Republic's territory. So it's just like this border conflict that's never really gone anywhere. Like there's been a couple of like little skirmishes, but nothing big. Like it's just a little low level tension. So yeah, you see. What do you do on the this? Are you approaching?
Well, I guess we'd best get in line to go in.
Mhm.
So
Or we could just kill the guards and get across the bridge.
bad
You
idea.
know, yeah, we that would let's not do that. This is the place we want to sell stuff. Remember?
And buy stuff. Speaking of which, when we get into town, since you guys have stuff you need to do, why don't you give me all of the stuff you want sold and a list of all the things you want bought, and I'll go around town and do all that.
I mean, we've already discussed this.
Yeah, you
It's-
weren't
in
here. You
character.
disappeared.
you guys are all going to deal with the selling about because everyone wants different things, and I'm
you,
going
Mikey,
to go
weren't
start
here for
talking
the
to people.
conversation.
He
Alright,
was
that
in
made
our
more sense.
Discord chat, however, where we did talk about what we were doing.
Yeah, I was the one who brought up the whole.
But it
shopping list
was in
thing.
December.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like a month ago.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay, so
It was last year,
It
technically.
was last decade, mate. It was last
fuck
decade.
you, Mitch. I hate that joke. Okay, you cross the bridge. You, as a group, are crossing the bridge, like on your horses, or leading your horses, however you want to go about it. But when you get close enough, you see the one of the guards, which actually doesn't look like a guard. The previous guys that you saw were kind of local militia, which is a fairly standard thing for the Gull Rivers, is they have local regional militias, and then there's a very small standing army. These are Ustenia would know this because he's been trading in the Gull Rivers for a while, and he's very adjacent.
Yeah.
These are uniform. These are national military. They're wearing the flag of the Gull Rivers, which is two gull trout, kind of in a like a parallel line. That's on it's like a gold trout on blue background, kind of symbol that they're wearing on their tabards. These are national military. These aren't regional militia. But you see one of them who looks to be just a human, just kind of points to the line that is empty, that's going in, and doesn't really offer any help or anything. He's just expecting you to go there and get ready.
Yeah, I go there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a little. There's just like stakes in the ground with like a little, like rope, that is got it into like an S.
Have they got a wizard like standing there scanning your bags, like spell
No,
Magical TSA are
when
here.
when you
No, that's
when you
somewhere
get
else we have
towards
that.
it, yeah, when you get towards it, you actually see the tent is a triangular tent that just goes for maybe about 50 feet in a length, and they're open on both ends. And you see a couple of little dividers inside, and there's a guard like kind of just inside of the entrance of the tent, and he just kind of waves you forward and then points to he waves you forward. Are you all in one group?
Yep.
Yes.
Go there, and he points to one of the dividers. And
Okay.
If you go over
Yep.
there, you see a very bored-looking clerk who's sitting at a table that looks to be a very light, movable table with papers in front of him, and a stack of papers next to him, a paper in front of him on like a little clipboard kind of thing, quill, ink, everything, sitting there, and he's just like. He's just got his hand on his chin, and he's sitting there, and you can tell this is there's probably 3 more dividers. There's probably 4 people all here, and they're just waiting. and you
Just bored out of their gourd waiting for me.
bored out of their minds. Nobody's coming in. But you go up, and you see he straightens up a little bit, and like he's still very bored. Gets his quill ready, and then kind of puts a paper on his little clipboard. Reason for visit?
Business.
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 Are you all one group?
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you a registered trading caravan?
Mercenary company.
No.
Mercenary company. Who's your chosen representative for your company? He's
I look
writing
at
things
Isaac.
down.
Isaac looks and we both look at each other at the same time.
Isaac.
I believe that's me.
All right. Name of company?
The Turquoise Company?
Is company a part of your registered name?
Yes.
See everything he's writing down. Flips the page. Are you looking to do any type of commerce with inside of Republic territory?
Yes.
Are you doing it in bulk quantities? Bulk quantities defined as goods being sold upwards of 100 standard dwarvish pounds.
No.
Does that include purchasing of
Is
services?
that weight or money? Sorry, British sensibility.
That's weight. That's weight.
Okay.
Yeah. We
yes.
have
Yes.
over 100 pounds in dragon.
Dragon. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Dragonhide, yeah.
Yes.
Are you also looking to do any type of mercenary work with inside of Gull River's Republic borders?
Yes. Dear
I will
God,
put a
yes.
maybe on that, but we'll put it down as a yes.
Yes. it's
Other.
other.
Starts writing things down. He isn't asking questions. He's just flipping pages, writing things down, looking over all of you.
There's a 600-page like pamphlet he has to fill
It
out.
it actually looks fairly thick. You're thinking maybe it's like 20 pieces of parchment that
Yeah.
he's going through, and it's all
Yeah,
printed
what he's
off,
not
and there's, like,
telling you is
lines
it's
and
actually
stuff.
21 and he has to fill out each one in triplicate.
He's filing out the TS 106 form.
Do
You
have
need
any
to go
affiliation-
outside, grab the blue form.
Are you registered or affiliated with any type of mercenary work inside of the Teutonian border?
No.
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 Have
Never
you
been
ever,
to
at any
Teutonian.
point, or are currently working for any type of individual who is of Teutonian descent?
No.
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 Does anyone inside of your company currently hold Teutonian citizenship?
No.
No. I look around kind of weirded because like I don't think anyone here has ever actually been to Teutonia. No, actually, incorrect.
Yeah.
We
Don't-
passed through.
Yeah. We've been to
Literally.
Teutonia multiple times.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
just
I don't.
passing.
I've never been there, so it's like,
Yeah, it's just you.
Actually, has Rival been there? Has Rival
yes,
been there?
we
Yeah.
came in from a boat from
Oh, yeah,
Teutonia.
yeah, you all
the
came in there
entire
on the one boat,
party,
yeah, yeah.
except for Sesh,
Yeah.
started the campaign on a boat that came from Teutonia. So
Yeah.
you've all been there at least once. Keeps writing things down. Flips. Flip. Who's your chosen representative again? You.
Points at Isaac.
Name.
Isaac.
Full name.
Dekordrak. It's DE space.
I don't need to know, sir.
Nobody gives a shit.
Oh god, that is so normal.
Writes things down, flips, writes things down, so flips back to the front, keeps writing. Flips another one, writes. Number of individuals in your party?
5? 4.
Traveling or total? Traveling or
How many
total?
individuals are entering the country right now, sir?
4.
Are the horses registered towards your company or individuals?
Individuals.
Individual.
Are you currently on any type of mercenary work?
No.
He dips the pen back inside the quill into the ink again, and he brings the bundle of papers and turns it towards you. Sign here. Here. Initial here. Sign here. Flip. Sign here. Initial. Initial here. Print name here. Full name. Print here. Flip. Initial here. Print initials here.
Oh God.
Signature here. Company name here. Registered name here. It just goes. This goes on for a while. just flip it.
So she's just standing off to the side at this point, like, oh, I'm so glad he took this one.
At some point, I'm imagining Isaac just like, hold on a second, just kind of like does the little thing, like, just gonna rotate the rest.
I like
Wait
the
on the
idea of just
fingers.
using prestidigitation to control the thing instead. Like,
And after he gets to the last page, he takes the quill back. And he
Mage hand.
takes out one sheet of the whole thing, folds it, and then tears it, and you have like a little half sheet of parchment, and he gives it to you. At any point, you may be required to present this towards any representative, mercenary, or military of the republics. Failure to do so could result in jail time or a fine upwards of 5,000 gold pieces.
thank you.
Next.
Okay.
There's nobody out
Awesome.
there.
There's nobody out there now.
I actually say that to him as I walk out. There's nobody out there.
Thank you, sir. Ma'am.
Ma'am. Stick my head back in.
Did
like,
you just assume
ma'am.
our Dragonborn's gender? I want to speak to your manager.
She grows hair
and-
like Karen all of a sudden.
and you start walking out after that with a sheet of half paper, and it's just like it's a lot of words. It's a lot of words that have been printed with like at
There's-
least four signatures of you on here.
I have, as we walk away, we're not going to be able to split up as easy if we're all required to see this bit of paper at all times.
We have to stay together.
However, is anyone good at any making forgeries? We're away from this place completely, but before I say
Oh
this.
yeah, you're walking. I'm assuming,
Yeah.
and also nobody gives a shit. in this tent, they like you pass by, one person is just very obviously sleeping, and they're in
Hey.
their chair. They're just
It's like, hey guys, hey everyone, hey look, they're talking about forgeries here. Hey. See, nobody gives a shit.
nobody gives a shit.
Can anybody do any forgery work? Or was that also R1?
That was our
Probably
one.
also our one.
You lost a lot when he left. You lost a lot
Fuck.
when he left.
Thanks, Crimson.
You piece of shit.
You
Yeah.
trying to actually make a living, you bastard.
How dare you?
How dare you? Starve like the rest of us.
That's harsh, man.
Yeah, it is. So, yeah, you exit the you
Moving
exit
swiftly on.
the tent. You
Anyway.
exit the tent, and on the other side, you see a lot of the same is going on in the other tent, but the opposite direction, and it's just merchants. It's mostly merchants. You see a couple of Utetchians that are also standing in line. It's just like
Hey, cousin.
yeah, just
Hey,
standing in
cousin,
line,
we
and they're
should go
just like
bowling.
they look very angry that they're stuck in this fucking bureaucratic hell.
Oh dear.
They're just like they're leaning on their horses and they're just waiting, and the line's not.
Do I recognize any of them?
They're not from your tribe. You recognize some of them from a couple of like southern tribes. Not like by name. You just recognize different kind of cuts and designs. There's a couple from like a
Hairstyles.
northern tribe, but there's nothing like too familiar. You don't know anybody. They're just obviously from around. These aren't Opakins.
Okay. These aren't the family.
No,
I don't care then.
not the
Alright.
family.
Right, I
Been
guess we
comes
progress
out of
on.
nowhere.
Your plight grieves me none.
But yeah, you exit, and it's just open road in front of you at this point. You do actually give me a perception check, everybody.
Okay.
Does my passive of 18 say fuck you? That's what I'd ask.
Roll. Fuck it. Yeah, I think you're good.
Oh, I suck today.
If you want to roll it, go ahead, Sesh. It's not like it's gonna
Not too
matter,
bad.
unless you rolled a 1 or something like that. Yeah,
No,
you're good.
I don't.
Hey, guess what? Sesh and Isaac hear it, which is actually surprising since Rivallon's got a +4 to this.
Yeah, no.
You actually hear a couple of individuals, like these military individuals, talking off to the side, and you don't catch everything because you're not staying around to listen. You're just passing. But it seems like they're talking about an attack on the sky docks.
Oh.
You hear that, but that's all you get on the way out.
I will relay this information to Stinia and Rivallon.
Mm.
Maybe some work in Takova.
Maybe, but
Looks like it.
depends how much we want to dally from the task at hand.
I
We're
mean,
already going to be.
considering
If it's
how-
if it's something we can
Vyvern's
do
not
while
going
we spend.
anywhere.
Yeah, as I was going to say, if it's something we can do while we're waiting for armor to be made, but I don't really want to be brawled up in a war, which sounds like might be going on.
Yeah,
Topical,
if you look at
in
it
fact.
this way, I'll get to kill lots of people.
You'll get
I
to be
think you-
really de-stressed
I
for
think
a
you'll
change.
get. I think
Yeah,
you'll get
I'll
to
be
kill a lot of
completely
people where we're
de-stressed for
going
like
anyway.
a year.
Yeah.
That's what
Can
they
you
all
imagine-
say,
Well-
and then
Well,
the addiction just carries them through.
Yeah.
The rush of seeing a man's eyes turn to glassy orbs of nothingness is too addicting.
I have read the novel Train Spotting.
Justinia chimes up here. Well, I understand that you want to get move on, but I mean, we are a mercenary company, and going into Grey Wastes is going to be expensive business, especially if you look for hirelings and wanting to hire a caravan to survive the journey. We're going to need money, and it will probably be more money than we currently have. Even though we have quite fair bit of money, it's fine for us in our little group, but you're looking at, possibly whole company, like proper company. So, I mean, we mercenaries, we could do things for money to do the bigger things that require that money.
And I can tell you that caravans often charge extra because it's the Grey Wastes, and it's full of things that want to kill you, eat you, and then leave your bones to rot in the sun.
I don't think we need a caravan. Caravan's a bit too,
Okay,
Well,
but
extra members to our.
We'll definitely need something.
We need
They will
some.
want to charge a
extras.
premium for it.
well, why don't we? We are registered mercenary company now. Why don't we actually make something of it and build name? Do a few job. We don't have to take big contract. We could see what available and do a few job, and it give us name here in the city, which we'll doubtless be coming back to. And we might find help that way whilst doing job.
It worked
And
for
it
us in
don't
the
got
Free
money.
Holds and Gorgon. People who actually
Yeah.
came looking for us.
Yes, but you remember where that kind of got us. The decision we had.
Well,
Fact
that's-
is, people knew who we were.
Yeah,
It did
Yes,
get us a
but-
very hefty payday. Don't forget that.
exactly. Plus, because we are registered mercenary company, we can pick and choose job on a professional basis, not just
We-
people saying, "I need you to do favor."
we
Oh, by the
haven't
way, we forgot.
actually
Just wanted to point out,
registered.
We should
Oh.
register.
I wanted to point out because we forgot. Remember, Demir did give you a piece of paper with some listings
Yes.
of mercenary
Of-
companies that have a good with the Opikins that you could possibly get some deals on them working with you.
Yes.
So,
But we
just
don't know
wanted
if
to
they've
point
already
that
been taken on by the by the government here because of this attack.
My argument is not necessarily we need the jobs to get contacts. My argument is we should take a few of the smaller end jobs to make money to hire
Yes.
those mercenaries.
And I
Yes,
totally
and
agree
what
with
I-
Ustenia.
Yeah.
But Isaac was saying with the fact of, I think it's a good idea to do so if, like, there's time, for example, while we're waiting to, like, have armor made and things. But
I mean, Sesh will just
And-
pipe up and say, "I'm planning on having a set of full plate made. That will take a while."
but anything like, I don't
We also
want to
need to
get
buy- I
him.
also need
I
to buy
don't
diamonds.
want to end up in service to Cova in a
We
war
don't
scenario.
have to. We can just take small jobs. We don't have to take
We're
anything
mercenaries.
major.
Like we can literally.
We can pick and choose our
We-
contracts.
We didn't decide that we were mercenary companies. Cova did. Do you remember that?
Well,
There's
yeah,
a good chance
but it
that they
worked out
could
well for us.
decide not to let our contracts end and things like that. Nation states are known for being finicky with these types of things. Like, I just err on the side of caution. I have been
Maybe we should go talk to that guard captain we met last time.
the-
Saying that, interjecting here, DM, would Ustinia know if Takova has a history of dicking over mercenary companies in this fashion, especially for like reputation? It does, yeah.
Oh yeah, no, they'll. The thing is, that's the thing. They don't have a standing army most of the time, so they. The Gull
It's
River
like the
is very
succession
is a
states.
very, it's a very bureaucratic mess. There's a lot of bureaucracy, and they use that to their advantage. So there's stories of people being hired for a job, and then they find out there's like a page in the contract that states if it's deemed needed by a magistrate, their contract can be extended for X amount of time. You know, and there are things that happen. There's contracts upon contracts in the republics because there's not a lot of actual hard laws in the republics. The legal system has to be defined kind of like per contract is the way you got to think about it. Like there's a lot of like you know, if you don't have that in there, there's no law saying they can't fuck you over, really. You know, so the contract has to the contract is kind of
the law.
the laws, the guide. So they have a lot of them, and it's a very big deal. You can kind of tell that by the piece of paper Isaac has, because it has a lot of, even though it's only a half parchment, it's got like 3 of his signatures and 2 initials on it, and it's got the name of the company printed and abbreviated, and on the back end there's like a whole bunch of writing for like permits and things they can do and not do, and it's like,
Read it.
you know,
Read it all.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll
I
read
mean,
it all.
I've only got one of the 20-odd pages as well.
I'll read
Yes,
whatever's on
but-
there. Whatever's on the back of it, I'll read it.
It basically stipulates that you're a mercenary company not currently working. There's a band of 4 of you. You're registered as the Turquoise Company within the Gull Rivers Republic. You have no association with the Teutonian nation. You have had no previous association with Teutonia. You are currently permitted to do merchant work within the borders of the Republic in bulk merchant amounts. You possibly can do work on a case-by-case basis, stuff like that. There's like check marks and circles and like things X'd out and stuff. There's a lot of stipulation. It doesn't seem like you're being forced anything with this paper. It's just if somebody requested it, it tells them what you can and can't do. It
Yeah.
looks like, because that's what
So
you
like we were to walk
declared
into a
entry.
place and say, "Hey, we're looking for work," and this guy said, "Let me see your papers," and they looked at it and said, "You can't do the work I want you to do because the back of this says X."
It'd be more like if somebody stopped you and like it was a guard or something like that. And you were doing like, if you didn't declare that you were going to be doing merchant work in here, and you were like, so what are you doing with the 500 pounds of dragon hide? And it doesn't say you're going to do any type of merchant work in here. They could say you don't have the right to do that.
It's a good job we was honest about that and remembered the dragon hide that we had.
Yep.
Yeah.
But,
Well, or yeah. So
Yeah, that's the other thing we need to make as well. We need to get Rivallon his dragonhead armor.
Yeah,
So you've
exactly.
got that's kind of what you got right now on that piece of paper. It just tells you kind of what
Like-
you're allowed to do.
Super
But to
stealth
continue anyway,
It's a visa essentially.
like I said, I would like to err on the side of caution. I've already been
Fine.
told that we're falling behind our expected as well on getting there.
we will see what jobs are available, and if none of them appease everybody in the group, we shall leave them be.
All
That
right.
seem fair?
Like I said, I am more than okay with doing jobs while we wait.
Okay. I'll say
So what
that
do
you've
you
been
guys want to do
talking
first?
for a while. I'll say that conversation, going back and forth, reading up on the very dense piece of paper you have, all that stuff, took you enough time that you've gotten to Takova. Because it's not that far from the border. It's fairly close. But it's a bit different. The Sky Tower is very visible, obviously, from afar. But it looks somewhat blackened on one side. One of the docks is now mostly just the crisscross wooden lattice that sits underneath the carved and painted facade that the others have. And that this one used to have. To the side, hanging in the air, very visible even from afar, are 3 crystals that shine in the light. They're blue and green, kind of mixed between turquoise and various other colors in that shade range. The flight crystals, which you know kind of somewhat immediately because they're hanging in the air without any supports, just kind of stay there. One of them, or 2 of them, sit kind of parallel to each other, about what you can see, maybe 50 feet across, and one is ahead of them, kind of in a triangular position. Probably the flight crystals of the ship that used to be there when they've stayed in the air, because they can't be taken anywhere else. They've been enchanted, so they are stuck at an altitude. One of them has a rope around it, and you see, kind of off in the distance, you see maybe 20 or 30 individuals holding the rope on the what's left of one of the docks, and they're pulling it closer to the actual tower. They're trying to get the crystals out of the air. Strangely enough, as you get closer and closer, you also see the air around these crystals also seems to glow like green and blue. It's somewhat odd, but it doesn't take a genius to figure out. It seems to be the dust and flakes of the crystal's structure that broke off when whatever was holding these crystals scraped against them, and now that's just floating in the air, polluting it around.
Don't breathe that in. It's bad for you.
Yeah. And again, it's also you can tell these crystals are fucking massive. They got to be like horse-sized or larger. Just
Oh my God.
These, and they've got to be heavy because it's taken a lot of people to drag that one crystal towards the dock. And I'd say by the time you get to the point where you're actually entering the city, you can see like it's been maybe 20 minutes and it's just gotten to the dock, and you can see like some people are taking a breather and others are trying to tie it down and like keep it secured. But you can see even as it stops, the momentum still carries, so it's kind of twisting in the air slightly, but it's not moving. It's just kind of changing its axes from the perspective. And you keep walking in, and you can see it. The ship that used to hold these crystals. Under the tower is the blackened hulk of a ship. It actually doesn't look that bad. The most burn damage seems to be located on the top decks. Everything else seems to be the result of a fall. With the flight crystals seemingly having been broken from their moorings or from their anchors inside of the structure by the fire eating away at the top. And it just kind of, the ship falling because it no longer had a secure connection with the crystal. And you see it's fallen into the market. The market that sits underneath the Sky Tower, I forget what it's actually called because I've got the sheet here. Let's see here. I got dividers for my notes now. So, where's the gold? Skull River's the blank market. No, that's the. There we go. Skull River. The Moon Market. You see has the ship has fallen like right at the like enough in it that it has disrupted and around it, and you see people working on the ship, but it doesn't look like they're repairing it. You see individuals with axes and saws, and it looks like it's like breakers. They're breaking the ship up for scrap at this point. They're not there to save it. Just like crews with like big 2-man saws are sawing like masts down and hammers and stuff, and they're just trying to get it out of there. But you can see it probably did a lot of damage because it is not a small ship. It's not a cargo ship though. This definitely looks like a yacht, probably a sky yacht of some sort. So a very rich person's conveyance that they own, and it is just gone. It's no longer useful.
Invisible on the ship.
Do any of you speak? Do any of you read Elven?
Yes.
The elf does.
Yeah.
Freaking elf.
I'm putting it out there. I know you would. Yes. You see it written in Elvish. Summer's mist. Along the edge.
Was that one
wow.
of the
What was the
choice
name of the
ships
ship that we came in on?
It was in Celestial.
That
It
It
was
was in
fine.
Celestial. It's not.
Yeah, I was in Celestial because Isaac boned the captain.
You don't know that.
We don't.
At this point, it's just a malicious rumor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
The captain was so quiet about that. All night
Captain
long.
was dwarvish and into Palor. That's all Isaac needed.
Dwarvish into Palor.
And also middle-aged. That was also apparently his thing.
Yeah, he likes the older
Isaac
So-
ladies.
was cougars. Yeah.
But yeah, you see that written on the side. You see that Summer's Mist written on the side.
Summer's Mist.
Uh,
Name of the ship is Summer's Mist.
Ah.
I
I
say
swear that
ship.
was in dock. At,
Wreck. The name of the
Um,
wreck is Summer's Mist.
I swear that was docked at Gorgon. While we
Yeah,
were
one
there.
of the ships. We didn't take it, but
The name just sounds really familiar.
it does for me as well.
Because there was
yes.
yeah.
It was a possible ship choice you could have had. Summer's Mist. This, though, as you see it, it is very much a yacht of some sort that might have done some passenger work when the individual who owned it wasn't using it. But you can see it as it's definitely elvish. And there's not really any defining other than its design because it's burnt. Like it might have had sails and flags on it at some point, but those are all gone with the fire.
Is there anyone who looks like they're in charge of the breakup?
Quite a few actually. It's not a small. When I say yacht, think
Yeah.
like a modern day like billionaire yacht. Like it's basically a destroyer. You know, in terms of size.
No, I'm wondering
Yeah.
if there's anyone nearby who looks like they're kind of a foreman or anything like that that I can ask.
Yeah,
for.
you see a couple. Like there's multiple crew, like
Hmm.
different crews working on different parts. So yeah, you can find that easily enough. Yeah.
Okay, well, if I can find one and then ask them what happened.
Okay, there's like a dwarf
Mhm.
who's like ordering around like a gang that looks to be mostly working on getting the mainmast off of the ship, which is, by the way, a monstrous, like almost like redwood kind of sized, like bit of wood. Like this thing was probably like a main mast meant to make this thing pretty quick and high winds, stuff like that. Like it was so they're like sawing the damn thing out, putting pegs and stuff to try and get it off of the damn ship. He's ordering them. You come up. What specifically are you asking? Like information wise, what are you trying to get
Yeah,
out of
what
him?
happened to the ship? You know, what happened? Why is the ship suddenly, not in the sky anymore?
Oh, you haven't been here for a week, huh?
No, just came into town.
I don't know exactly. It's all rumors, but they say some Teutonian royal guard came in and attacked the dock. Lucky that it's owned by the actually hold on, who owned the Summer's Mist? The Kalan dynasty, the king's granddaughters owns it. She Lucky she wasn't on board when it happened. Apparently, it was in dock for repairs. Got hit in a storm outside of Stakesh. Stayed here. Got caught in the crossfire, I think.
Right.
Burned away, and anchor points. He points to, like, you see... Like, you've been on a skyship before. It was an
Yeah.
older one. But you've been on... Actually, you've been on two. Because you were on... Or you haven't... No, you were on the Aquilon as well, weren't you?
Yes.
To loot it, but you weren't, like, riding in it. But yeah, this is more modern, but you can definitely see the same telltale. Like, these are big anchor points that are built around these crystals before they're enchanted. And,
Yeah.
and the weight of the ship sits on these. Like, the rest of the ship is just hanging from these crystals.
These
That's
crystals,
how it
yeah.
works. Yeah, and you can see that's where, like, a lot of the burns happen, and, like, things, like, unlike the fall damage stuff, things were, like, it basically ripped out of its mooring point as the ship just kind of lost structural integrity. Points those.
Right.
It's gonna be ages before they can get those out of there. And you look up and you can see very clearly now that where the ship fell, it's almost like a perfect, like, where the points, like, they didn't move. Like, they,
Yes.
the crystals stayed exactly where they fell from. But they, and you can see they've tied off another one, and they're trying to get the rope on the next one, and it's not going well. You can even see it, like, they've got like somebody's like they're throwing it, and it's like it catches and then it falls
Slides
off
off.
and goes 30 feet. And you're like, yeah, and the worst part is it's where it was docked, and they don't dock these right onto the dock, so it was like 20 feet out.
Yeah.
And it was also not right at the edge. So these things are in the same. It's not great. It's not great to get this thing out. And you can see also the lights coming in from the noonday sun, and it looks beautiful. Just all the dust hangs in the air, unnaturally, because it's still magic. It's still enchanted dust, essentially, and that's gonna be there forever. It looks like, just as it sparkles in the air. But no, they attacked. Don't know why. It was like a group of, I don't know, one here. They called me in from up north to help break this up. They need to get it out of here. Nobody got killed though. When it fell, Moon Street
that's good.
or the Moon Market was empty at the time. It was in the middle of the night. Not sure who died during the attack. Haven't pulled any corpses out of the wreck, but we weren't the first ones here. Yeah.
Well, thank you for the information. Appreciate it. I'll let you get back to work. Go back to the group and tell them everything that I've just been told.
Immediately starts yelling at his crew. Get your backs into it, you lazy! Yeah, just like as these teenagers are like there's a peg they're trying to open up a cut with, and they're just like hitting a hammer
lot of
and
red
another one hits a
flags
hammer
there.
just to start breaking it down.
Yeah, just a few.
That's what you see.
You
That's what you heard.
You're thinking false flag?
I'm thinking, why would they attack a ship that's at dock in the middle of a capital city when they're
Of a
not
different
even
nation.
sure that a supposed target is on board?
Middle of the night, there was no witnesses. So how did they know that it was Teutonia? Have they
How-
caught the Teutonians?
And you've also got the point of, as far as the man could tell me, no one died.
Or at least
No
they
one
found
died
On-
on the fall. Nobody
Yeah, on the fall.
was killed by the actual
Well,
fall.
all I was saying
That's what
was
he pointed.
he couldn't say that any bodies were found or anything because he wasn't here at the beginning.
Yeah.
So we don't even know if
Still-
anyone, or if it was just the ship was scuttled to make it look like there was an attack.
Yep. So I'm thinking false flag. I'm thinking like Ranchstag fire kind of thing.
All I'm getting here is alchemist fire doesn't melt ironwood.
That's awful, Roach.
But it is.
Well, it's not like we have to get involved in it. We've got our own stuff to do right now. So, what to first?
Well,
Uh-oh. Utari's disappeared.
Oh, Utari's
Now
putting-
I've
he's
got
putting
a
his-
nice
he's putting
picture of
child to bed.
Roach's beard.
yeah.
Utari's putting the baby to bed.
He's putting the baby to bed.
The child to bed.
He's not allowed to.
What
If he
bed?
does that, then that means that it's not hit.
He's
Well,
putting the
he's already
boy
not
to
here.
bed.
Um,
Uh,
So,
but yeah.
I
and by the
guess
way,
we
you're
should-
here. The moon market is open. People are working around this, but it didn't seem to do much damage outside the moon market.
Okay.
It mostly.
Yay,
Welcome back,
my carrier's
Atari.
back.
Welcome back.
That was annoying. It thought I was on my mobile and would not let me back in.
I've had
Oh,
that
that's-
happen. Yeah, I've had that happen. It's not great. Did you
missed the
catch
load.
the exposition?
No,
Of
I
the-
missed a load because I was putting the boy to bed and
Yeah.
connection issues.
They got some information about the ship. What happened, or at least what people are saying happened.
Okay.
Yeah, so people think it's the Teutonian Royal Guard came in and attacked. Nobody they know, they couldn't confirm who died, who didn't die, and they know who owns the ship and all that. So that's what you got. It's, owned by the
All fun.
Kalen Dynasty's king's
That's successor
granddaughter.
state, right?
Yep, it's the
So
green one on
that's-
the western
Yeah,
coast.
that's the green one. Checks one of the many maps I keep in a case.
One of the 7,500 maps he has because he's a.
I like
Nerd.
maps. I'm a map nerd.
It's a
Yes.
moderately large one. It's like it's a rival with the
Yeah.
one rival is from. Funny enough.
Uh-huh.
Which one am I from?
Dark blue one,
The
right?
woods.
Yeah, the dark blue one. Which
No,
is,
he's from the woods. Where he's from.
But yeah, you're
It's from the kingdom of the wolf.
Yes.
from the Athronian Empire. Kalen Dynasty borders that, and Osnia. So.
Ah. That's fine.
Yeah, Osnia. Yeah. But yeah, it was owned by the king's granddaughter. And she wasn't there because it was in dock for repairs from a storm. It
Okay.
got caught in. So that's what you got from there. And yeah, the moon market is open. It's probably about half of it is unusable because of the crash and the braking operation taking up that space, but it's still being used. And you can also tell the really nice inn is still open. It did not get
Yay.
squished or anything.
Our Phoenix shop is still going to be around next time.
Yes!
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So,
So we're going to need specialist stores though, Roach, because I want to find a actual professional blacksmith and a jeweler because I need to buy diamonds and we need to sell the rubies
Yeah.
we got and a few other things.
we need to do that. We need to go to we need to go to basically we need to find a highest quality armorer we can.
You also need to
because-
do research, weren't you, in the Grand Library? Weren't you also?
No,
wanting to
that's
do
where
that?
our one's gone.
No, our one's gone up to his gone up to the
He was going to pass through here, and then he was going to go up to his old Bardic
Bard's
College.
College.
But you got some more information, didn't you? Because you got some stuff from the dragon, some like an odd symbol and
Yeah.
with messages.
Oh
written
yeah,
on
we
and
were
stuff.
possibly
and the
gonna...
coins, those coins as
And
well.
coins stuff. Yeah, you got you got some things you could research and know. Or didn't you also say you wanted to figure out what was at the location that you were going to? Because you have the
Yeah, I
location, but
was
you don't
gonna
know
see
the
if I could
service.
go. Yeah, I was gonna see if I could find anything about the location.
Yeah, so you got
okay,
some
I'll-
things you want to do. So,
Yeah.
well, first thing, are you just going to do that, or are you going to get yourself someplace to stay or meet before you?
We should probably sort out some way to stay so we know where we can go.
Yeah,
We gonna go back to the tavern, or are we gonna go somewhere else?
we'll go to. We want to go with one of the cheaper ones, surely.
Yes,
Not
because
the
we've got
really
to,
nice one.
we've got to spend our
Fair
money
enough.
wisely. We don't know
Especially
what we're
if
getting.
you guys want to start grabbing items and stuff, you're gonna want all the money you can get.
Exactly.
Fair.
I
'Cause
want the
you
armor.
know
I
of-
also want another sword.
You know
Yeah.
of the Sleeping Bear, which is the one that's located right next to where you're at right now, which is the Moon Market one, the
The super
high-end,
expensive one.
super expensive one. You also know of the Cracked Flask, which is in the Bright Village district.
That's the gnomish one or the halfling one?
Yes, the gnomish one. And the Sly Archer, which is in the Cherry Shade district, which is the like really crappy one that Demir didn't want to stay in anymore.
Ustinia was like, I've been there millions of times before. Fuck it.
Yeah. And then in the Orchard District, you know of the Silver Cup.
Which is the Elven district, right?
Yeah, it's like, from what you know, it's not like a particular. It's not a great, and it's not a horrible one. It's kind of a mid-range inn to stay in.
What about the
just
one in
kinda-
the Gnomish area?
The Gnomish District? You know, it's the same kind of thing. It's just it doesn't really have a known thing. Like Ustenia's never been there. But you know of it. It's just kind of it caters to people who travel there for work mostly. So it caters mostly to gnomes. That have to
So
go
it's probably
there
going to be
for-
small then. So not for us.
Yes.
And as a group of giants,
As a group of people who I think height-wise average out at 6'10", maybe.
But yeah, so
our average hits about 6'4", I think.
six
Yeah.
something, yeah. Well,
Roughly
yeah,
speaking.
Sesh throws that off.
I like
Pretty
skew
much.
that
Yeah, excuse
very
me.
highly.
Well, it's me and you are the
It was,
higher
it was
ones,
closer.
and then
It was
it's-
closer to 5 feet when Arlen was in because
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had one
the
extreme in each
average-
ways.
Yeah, it's kind of average. But no, yeah, the like if you're wanting like a mid-range one, that is something that you think you can stay at for a while. You got the Silver Cup, which is a mid-range one, and you have the really cheap, crappy one, which is the Slayer.
Let's go Silver
We'll
Cup.
we'll go
Yeah,
Silver
let's go
Cup.
to Silver Cup.
I have an idea. Why don't I've got paper and stuff. Why don't I try and find some of the notice boards? Go around, put things saying that we're a mercenary company and we're looking to hire people on some of the notice boards. And from a certain time, we will be in the tavern area, the bar area of the Silver Cup.
Yeah, okay.
That way, I can spend some daytime doing some research while you guys do the shopping.
Just as an out, by the way, the paper that you got from Demir lists 3 mercenary companies on one
Yes.
side and where to find them, and on the opposite side it has a little message that he wrote personally for whoever. you
Yes,
present
which
that
we
to.
will do, but Ustinia
So-
and I, like, at least Ustinia should come with that because he is also Uteshian and Demir's brother. For when we explore that. But I know Ustinia needed to do some shopping as well.
Yeah, and by the way, those 3 are the Morel brand, the Renault Company, and the Golden Band.
The Golden Horde? What are we doing playing you for right now?
I said the Gold Band. The Golden Band.
Gold Band, Reynolds.
The Renault Company, by the way, Renault is Romeo, Yankee, November, Oscar, Lima, Delta.
I spelt it correctly.
Oh,
hell
look
yeah.
at you
And the
fancy
Mortel
pants.
brand is Mike, Oscar, Romeo, Tango, Echo, Lima.
So Mortel.
Mortel brand.
Yeah, I got the. But Bravo, Romeo.
But you got those 3, and so you know where and it kind of gives you a little message on where they most likely will be, their headquarters in the city. But you all start heading. Do you head towards the Silver Cup, or what's your current?
Well, we know where to meet.
Well, we've never been there before. So
You
Okay,
gotta
I
buy
think
your
we'll-
rooms.
We'll find it. We'll buy our rooms, and then we'll go from there. We'll split up from there.
Yeah.
Oh, can we
we'll go
split?
there, paper horses, all that sort of stuff.
We only got
also,
one
yeah,
bit of
yeah.
paper.
Yeah, you've only got, and that's the other thing. You've got one identification paper for the group,
We can't split up.
unless you want to get fined or jail, which is what you were
Which
told.
is- Which is
Yeah.
gonna really slow us down.
Yeah.
I don't think we have 5,000 gold between all of us.
You definitely have 5,000 gold between all of you. You have
No, we
you have platinum and shit. You've got enough between you.
Hang on.
Unless this
Not
is
me.
copper, in
2,000.
which case it's 5,000 per offence.
Yay.
You've got 30 platinum pieces in the party fund by itself, which is 300 gold pieces. You've got 1,210 gold pieces in the party fund.
Yep.
201 Illyrium pieces, which is 400 gold pieces or something like that. 402 gold pieces or something.
Yeah.
1,000 silver pieces, which is another 100. or
No, it would be half for Illyriums. Illyriums are 5
Yeah, because you're
silver.
going. It's
Five
5
silver, yeah.
for 1 and 5.
So
That is
it'd
100
be
gold pieces.
it'd be 100 gold pieces, and yeah, you've got enough. If you had to, you could pay 1 fine.
One.
Yeah, one fine.
and that would
But,
leave us
like,
with like
one.
little money left.
I mean,
Yeah.
But you go ahead. You start heading towards the
Isaac doesn't
the
have
orchard.
that. I have 100 gold pieces to my name.
Yeah.
Like,
So you actually exit out of the city walls because the orchard is not inside the city walls. It's on the outside.
It's District 8, isn't it?
Yeah, District 8.
Yeah, I have the map up in front of me.
Yeah. But when you get there, it's someplace actually you've only passed through before, but the orchard is it's like almost all the buildings are wood and have flowing designs that are hallmarks of elvish architecture. Very like engineered to look pretty as well as functional. But the Silver Cup sits along the outer edge of the district, along the main road. The inn itself is a grand timber building with a white tile roof. A collection of and when you kind of walk in, you can see immediately there's a collection of exotic drinking vessels lining a long shelf behind the bar, just kind of as a collection, various different ones that are like steins and glassware and stuff that looks pretty and different.
Christinia's like, I want one of each. With a different drink in each one.
But you go and you can see like an innkeeper who's sitting at a table, not at the bar. There's just like a random elvish girl at the bar, but the innkeeper is sitting nearby. As you ask for like rooms, she directs you there, and you see a very willowy female elf that is sitting and looks like she's going through like a ledger when you come up, and she's got like very
Is she
small.
full-blooded elf or?
Yeah, full-blooded elf, like full ears, but she's
Okay.
got small reading glasses, like like Brent Franklin, kind of small ones that are kind of at
Oh, the
at
Ponce
different-
sort of thing.
Yeah, and she's looking, and she's got them like up the tip of her nose, and she's writing something down, like double checking a scrap piece of paper, like kind of just doing like probably her
Bookkeeping.
bookkeeping for the month or something. What she looks up. Yes, can I help you?
4 rooms and 4 horses for Bairding.
You'll have to go to a stable for the horses. We don't offer that, so yeah.
Okay.
Down the road. It's not too far, within walking distance. Rooms. Individual, or are you sharing?
Individual.
Individual. We have. Looks like we have enough. That'll be 5 silver per room per night.
I will give her 40 gold for right now. 40 silver. Sorry, not gold.
40 silver?
Which is enough for 2 rooms for each of us for, I think. Because there's 4 of us, 5 silver per room per night. 40 would be enough
Two
for
nights.
Yeah, for us
It's
for all
2
for 2
nights.
nights. Yeah. And we can always say, hey, look, here's another 40 for another 2 nights. So that
Righty
is-
then. Are you expecting to eat here or elsewhere?
Is breakfast available?
Yes, but you have to. That's why I'm asking, ma'am.
How
We
much
have to
extra is
prepare it.
breakfast?
Not continental. Doesn't
It
come
comes.
with
It comes with the room. We just have to make them. We have to make sure you are going to use the service before we have a.
Let's
cook
assume
cook
yes.
A dish.
Yes.
All right. Okay. And you see her like get up, and the willowy description very much like as soon as she gets up, very very willowy, very like long limbs,
Very lanky.
kind of very lanky, not a lot of fat, but she kind of like glides over and looks towards a wall of keys, and she takes off 4 and goes and provides you with 4, and they're all in a line, 2nd floor up, on the landing. You'll see them. They're labeled number-wise in Elvish and in.
Perfect.
Is
And
there
I will
anything
give.
else you require?
No, I think that's about it for now, gentlemen.
All right. Gets back
Thank you.
down and starts doing her bookkeeping again. And
I will give key to everybody.
you each get a key. Yeah, each get a key. By the way, in this like inn area, it's actually very quiet. Doesn't look like there's a lot of business going on right now because of the current tensions between the major nations in the central plains
Region.
Yeah. Though there is one individual sitting in the at a table, eating what looks to be maybe like a luncheon or something like that. Like it's a very small, like kind of like a plowman's kind of lunch thing, very small, very basic. And I think this is where we should introduce our new player.
Okay.
Well, no, we could because this is them. Unless we wanted to cut them out.
Hey, we spent
Fired
weeks looking
before
for a
they
new
even
one.
start.
Okay.
There we go. Just waiting for them to actually join in, because they're going to describe their character right before we go to break.
Ooh. That's me.
No, it's all worked out.
Yeah, we've only got 10 minutes till break.
Still
Breaky
break.
brew.
Still breaky brew, yeah.
Oh, back in a sec. Hear that it's sleep.
All right.
So, new player. Why don't you describe your character as they see a group of looks like well-traveled individuals, maybe mercenaries of sort, walked in, bought some rooms, and you were in the middle of finishing up your lunch.
Well, if they're looking at the back of me, they see some long dark hair, very broad-shouldered, and as I'm eating my lunch, I'm reading a book and I turn my head a bit, and you'll see I'll have green eyes and some tusks. Because I am a half-orc.
Yes. Yes, and you've been in Takova for the last maybe 2 weeks. You've been looking kind of on your quest. You've been trying to find some information. But you've run into a bit of a problem over the last couple of days due to the recent increase in tensions. Individuals that you were going to be using to pay, that you were paying or trying to kind of find information for you, have all dried up because they've been getting much better government contracts. So, like, all the mercenary guilds are kind of full up because they didn't have enough people to kind of guard a lot of the cities and the borders and stuff. So they've been kind of press gang into that. So it's been basically nothing for you to find people to help you. It's been practically impossible the last week and a half after that ship was burned in the dock. So you've been kind of doing it on your own for the last while. Though this is the first time you've seen in the last couple of days anybody who looks like they could handle themselves, that don't look like they're already working. These individuals look fairly kind of raggedy. They've been on the road for a while. It's been like they've been on the road for, because you guys have been on the road for a week, and you've been staying in the Opacan tribal camp for a month beforehand. So you look a little raggedy. They definitely don't look like they don't have the identification that they're working for the government. Because because you've definitely seen all of the mercenary guilds that get government contracts receive like a badge of the Republic that they have to wear when they're working, and these individuals don't seem to have that. As you see them kind of exchanging keys and talking amongst themselves about what they're doing. But I think we will handle the proper introduction of this after the break, because we are just close enough that it makes sense to just break now before we get into a long bit there.
So we'll be taking our regimented middle point break here. As always, use this time, go get yourselves like a tea or coffee, use the bio, but we'll be back. Don't go anywhere. We will be back within 5 to 10 minutes. So we will
Don't
see
touch
you
that dial.
in a moment. Yeah.
Don't touch that dial.
Son, don't touch that cactus.
sometimes I'm okay with the midtones not showing up as much because you got to think if you're because you're looking at it like this, put it on a table and then stand up, as you would on a gaming table.
Yeah, that's true. It's also a
and-
giant fire elemental, so fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah, midtones are hard. Midtones are hard. On my 20mm Germans, I don't have midtones on. Actually, hold on, I'll get a picture and it looks fine. Like, hold on, I'll get my highlights up because my highlights are super bad for them. Just let me get these up here.
This is like the best mid-tone work I've ever done, and I don't think you guys can really see it because the camera won't focus on him.
Yeah,
But I
webcams
posted
are
pictures of
horrible
him
with that.
before.
Yeah, hold on, I'm putting it. I've got this up. This is like these are my kind of standard tabletop quality. My tabletop quality, which is stupidly high quality for it. But you can see my highlights on there.
Sorry, I'm
There's
helping a friend with her taxes. So-
It's fine. We assumed you were talking to somebody, but you can see the creases there, Mikey. Like those don't have mid-tones. Those are just like the color and then a highlight color over top of that. But that looks fine on a table. Also, those are 20. Those are 15 mils. So
So
Those are tiny.
jealous. You guys have actually gotten hobby stuff done. Like I didn't really get. An
did you
opportunity
not
to
hear me
see it.
say I've been working on less than 80 people for over a year?
Yeah, I
Like,
know, but where you're talking about at least over the holidays, like Mikey's finished his fire elemental, and then
I got
there's me
those
who's
done
like,
this week.
literally nothing.
I got those guys done this week because
I'm
I
back
found out.
on my end.
I
Yeah,
found
me
out
too.
I have to.
Bless you, Midge.
There's a
I'm
meetup
just
in
like-
March.
Yeah, I mean, I've just not had the motivation when I did have a bit of time in the Christmas, and then obviously over the New Year's we was at family and stuff. But I don't know.
We're all over the country. Not like you could take your paints and your minis with you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you-
you could have taken that is one thing you can try and do because it does help. You can get a mobile hobby, like a little like one of those mini tackle
No,
boxes, and put some hobbies.
no, you don't understand. We had kids coming along, and we was
He's
driving
travelling
back
with
and forth,
kids
back and
as
forth,
well.
back and forth.
Well, I
Mutari
mean, no,
just
I
told me
mean,
the journeys
yeah.
he did, and my god, that yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we
Something
was
we didn't
down
do
to London,
before the
then
break.
Somerset.
What's that?
We didn't verbally said who's joining us. We never
Oh,
named.
well, do we
never-
need to?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Yes,
Because there are
we
some
do.
people out there who do not know the majesty that is.
Well, this is
Me?
why, and now we
Yeah.
come back. Yeah.
Yeah, we're back.
So,
So,
introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Red Moogle. I am Rival's significant other. If you come to Rival streams, you know exactly who I am.
Yeah, you know what she looks like too.
I am a
Yes.
floating hand.
She is a disembodied hand. She is just a spooky
oh, it's
skeleton.
like the final boss in Super Smash Bros. Just,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just a
Hand.
carrot floating hand.
Just a
Magic
hand.
hand.
Especially when she wears a green jumper. It's just this hand.
I have a green jumper that is exactly the same colour as this, and I'm a floating hand.
That's
But,
fantastic.
so I can either be I'm either two characters in the Addams family. I'm either cousin it or thing.
She can do it. She can do the cousin it.
Well, I can't at the moment. My hair's too short.
Oh dear,
Yeah,
what
you
a
should.
pity. Never mind.
But yeah, I thought it would be good to actually confirm who our new player is, especially
Yes,
for
right.
like eventually when the podcast comes out. People might not know
Red-
her voice, so
That's very
yeah.
true. Yeah.
It's
Red
true.
Moogle is the new player, which is great. Though I feel bad for you, Midge, because you spent all that time getting a sign-up sheet together, and right as you got
Sorry,
it,
buddy.
it was like, oh wait, yeah, we could just ask Red.
You know, the funny thing is, right, is I
No.
went through all of my Discords that I'm not in with you guys and posted
Yeah.
it and was like, hey, check
Yeah.
this out. And people
I
started
know,
asking
Mikey.
questions, and then-
Mikey
The
posted
thing
it all.
was, I said to Red I was going to fill it out just for a joke and send it in. You know, with my name and everything. All legitimately me. But and then she went, oh, I was thinking about doing that. I said, why don't you just ask the guys?
Well,
Yeah.
you see, I
Yeah.
didn't want to ask because it sounds desperate and needy.
Spent 2 months trying to find a player to replace Crimson.
Well, you just got
And it's
another
just,
red
it turns
player,
out it's been right next to
fine.
Rival this whole time. Turns out it's been sitting
Yeah.
there doing fucking nothing.
But yeah, Red.
I run a pub.
Yeah.
She does. She runs a
ye-
different name pub every week when we do this.
Yeah.
I can
It's a high
agree to
it's a
pub.
high
I'll
turnover
go
for
there.
that area. It's
It
pretty
really
bad. Maybe you should- yeah.
And now she's
Uh,
left in charge. Nathan Norman on my chat in charge.
I'm keeping an
Oh.
eye on it.
I mean, this is the guy who
Good
says
looking-
more
good looking,
boosters
Nathan.
every time I do a KSP. Fire it into the
But-
sun!
But yeah, we're coming back. Coming back.
Yep.
Yes,
Uh,
Come back.
So so Red, or should,
Me
or
and
should I
Rifle
say,
are on the same wavelength.
so Red, or I'll just call it by character name. So Mog, you again, we left off with you seeing this very obvious, either adventurers or definitely mercenaries. Have just got some rooms, and you've because of what your quest is, your personal quest, you've been trying to find information, but it's been very difficult because it's only you, and you've ran out of the ability of hiring other people to work for you because there's nobody to hire. But these individuals don't look like they're doing anything official right now. They're definitely not working for the government, which means they might be open to be hired before they get hired by the government. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So what would you like to do?
have they wandered upstairs to go and put their stuff away?
No, they've just been the tall dragonborn has just given some keys out to the group, and like they're and you don't hear them specifically what they're saying, but like they're pointing up to they're trying to figure out where the room is. Looking
Well, I'm
at
going
it.
to let them go to their rooms because they've clearly been on a journey. So I'm going to let them go to their rooms and do what they need to. But I will go up to the sort of innkeeper, or whose name I'm definitely going to know after 2 weeks. So her name is...
Her name is Jaina Bedai.
Jaina is fine.
Yep.
So...
Actually,
Let
no,
me
it
go-
isn't. It's Miss Bedai.
Okay. Yes. Excuse me, Miss Bedai.
I thought you were an orc.
You
Orcs can't sound like that's racist.
Feminine? You
That's
racist?
racist.
You didn't hear her practicing the voice!
Oh no, I did. I know.
That's coming later.
Oh.
Excuse me, Miss
Yes.
Bedai. Are they staying at this inn?
we just kind of turn.
No, you've gone off
Yeah,
to the
actually,
room. I'm only
Oh, no.
doing this after.
No,
you've gone to
we're right here.
Oh yeah, I was about to say. I was about ready to say, do you guys go to your rooms? Or
Sesh
you
with a
have-
natural 18
I only
perception
do
just
this
hears.
not-
Not
after you go
not
to
with
your
the
room.
amount of saleable goods we've got outside and that haven't
Yeah.
been stabled.
Okay, in that
Whoa.
case, I go up to
Yeah.
Sesh because she is the girl, and I am not going up to a group of random men.
That's fair.
Plus you,
All right.
Plus, Sesh is like very much taller than everybody else here. So
Yeah. By the way, yeah.
Six,
What you
six,
see,
six,
what you
seven,
see from
three.
your perspective, is there's an armored dragonborn lady.
Yep.
An olive-skinned, basically olive-skinned, pupilless individual wearing Palorian robes.
you can't
or
see
no,
the Paleo in robes.
not Palorian robes. You're wearing armor now, but wearing like robes and armor. A elf. I mean, it's stereotypical. Rifle. I can't say anything else about Rivallon. He doesn't distinguish himself right now as anything other than
I legitimately have a model that's Lord of the Rings Warhammer that looks exactly like your character.
yeah. Well, I think that's exactly
should
what
send it to Rival so you can have it.
Very used for his reference.
I will dig it
and-
out and I will send it to you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And an individual who definitely looks Uteshian, but is wearing a large cat helmet of some sort.
a displacer
okay.
beast, as I had.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I go up to Sesh
So-
because she is the girl, and
Sexist.
I'm a single
Yeah,
woman.
Sesh is 7'3", so she's quite a bit taller than everybody else here.
Yeah, a massive dragonborn. But yeah,
And-
see a half orc lady get up and walk towards you, Setch, after you've passed out keys and you're kind of a little small talk before you all were ready to move out and stable. Approach you.
Hello, miss. Can I do anything for you?
excuse me, my lady. Are you together and looking for work?
We are definitely together. What kind of work?
I'm looking for someone, and I've run out of options. So I'm looking for a group to either travel with to sort of carry on my search, because I've sort of run out of places to look, and or at least someone to sort of help me find some information.
What is your name, miss?
My name is Mogrith, but you may call me Mog.
Mog. Okay. I am Seshel Sashi. You can call me Sesh. This is Isaac. Point at the olive-skinned fellow. This is Justinia. I point at the Uteshian stepwriter. And this is Rivallon. And I point at the elf.
Mikey, look at the screen.
Love you, babe. Love you.
I completely
love him
missed
more,
that.
shut up.
Huh? What was that?
I
Ed?
missed that, sorry. I completely missed that. No, I got that bit. I meant what did you do?
Oh, and this is Rivallon. I point at the elf. that was
Oh, okay.
We are
I'm
the
honoured
Turquoise
to-
Company.
I'm honoured to meet you all. Look, it looks like you're busy and you're sort of getting yourself sorted. I've got to go to the library. I've got some more references to check. Is it okay if
Isaac, weren't you planning on going to the library?
Indeed.
Two birds, one stone.
We all have to go to the library then. Joy.
Well, wait,
Here's a
wait,
question.
wait.
No.
I have an important question here. You say you are looking for someone. Before
am.
we start rushing off to join person in help, what's in it for us? You're looking
Good
to
question.
hire us as mercenaries, or you're looking for help in favor, or what?
I am looking for my younger brother. He was taken from us for about 10 years ago now. I don't know where he is, but I am willing to pay for help to find him. At the moment, I don't have enough to pay you, but if during our travels we encounter any treasure or loot or anything valuable, I will take a tenth and the four of you may keep the rest. I just need some to pay for my expenses at the moment, but at the moment I don't have enough to pay you to help me. But
You said
I'm a warrior myself, so it's not like I need protecting or anything. I can look after myself.
you said taken by what or whom?
The court system of my home city. I'd rather not discuss it quite now until we sort of take the book, because it's a very it's upsetting for me. So
Okay.
Justinia sort of nods, but then he raises his hand and says, "Without going into too much detail, will this involve doing things of a questionable legal nature in your home city? Will that potentially be involved in the contract?"
not at all. My brother was due to come back to us when he came of age at 21. That was 3 months ago. And we haven't heard from him. And my mum and dad and... I'm sorry.
Your voice keeps breaking.
Roach, can I roll an insight to see how much of this may or may not be bullshit?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Come on, dice. Roll. Here we go. Hey, not bad.
Mog, are you telling the truth?
It's rude, Mikey. Of course I'm telling the truth.
Hey, Sesh was a town guard. She's had plenty of people lie to her about their siblings going missing just to try and get like an easy kill or whatever.
Always
Yeah.
going to the same domestic dispute.
Yeah.
Hey, don't bring it up, okay?
You've had contact with him in this time that he's been taken?
No, we were barred from contacting him. My
Okay.
mother used her standing stone on the day after his 21st birthday to ensure that we were within the legal grounds, and no message was returned. So I want to know what
That
happened.
could mean he's on an entirely different plane.
Don't scare the woman like that.
Oh, he just didn't want to.
Yeah, that's a great way of saying.
I
could be in hell.
understand. I understand.
Could be in
the
hell.
magic.
Well, if he's in hell, he's dead. But I mean, like physically transported.
No, not at all.
I understand.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's how this system works. You can actually go to hell and not be dead.
Yeah, but plus there's like what 9,999 of them.
See, I can totally imagine Sesh and Isaac actually having this conversation in front of us.
Yeah, totally. That totally just
Just
happened.
in front of the woman.
It's just annoying that
Yeah.
Mog's trying to explain that she knows.
You'll get used to that.
Sesh is plain-splaining right now.
Justinia thumps his, not aggressively, just thumps his hand on
To make the
fist
two
on
of them
table,
shut up.
Just to
Yeah.
make, yeah. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
So my understanding is you require assistance, presumably for questioning, asking about potentially tracking, potentially security, and our payment that you're offering is the greatest share of any potential loot that will come about, right? Are we expected to get into any situation where that actually might be a certainty?
I wish I could tell you, but I have so little information at the moment. I know everything I have is currently conjecture and guesses, and that's what's getting me really a bit. That's what's upsetting me. And I've written to my mother and father, and they've got no other insight either.
Isaac, can I see that sort of
That's
paper
why
again?
that's why I want to go to the library, see if there's anything there.
Okay, so two things. One, you're looking for your family.
I am, Master Elf.
His name is Rivallon.
So,
Don't inflate his
You
ego.
have no idea how long this will be taking to find your brother.
No, which is mostly why I'm looking for companions, because I expect to leave this city in my search for him, and although I can handle myself pretty well, as I understand it, this place might be becoming a war zone.
That's not an issue. Isaac, Sesh,
The very heavily
A word.
armored group of people, sort of like
I think
I'll return to my table. Please feel free to discuss amongst yourselves.
Isaac. May I see that sheet of paper? That was given to us by the border guard.
yeah.
Take it, and I'm going to read it through again. I want to see if it says that if you're in the city, just in the city, can you just like this is like a trading visa, correct? Sort of thing. Is what
No,
I got.
it's just like a
business
general.
visa.
It's a business. It's saying why you're here, what you can do within the borders, and all of that. And it states that at the end it states you may be asked to present this to any official of the Republic government, and if you a failure to do so will result in a fine or prison time, or both.
Okay. I turn to Margaret. Margaret, do you have one of these?
I do.
Excellent. Thank you, Isaac. And I hand it back to him. Rivallon, you were saying something.
Yeah. Thanks. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
We have no
I
idea how
raise.
long...
Apologies.
Forget
Justinia
it.
raises his hand and asks to see the paper. Not aggressively again, but just so he can actually physically see.
Moggs?
I toddle back to my table, grab the paper, and show it to Justinia.
Okay, thank you. I mean, it's one thing someone saying they've got it, and it's another them having it.
Rivallon.
Yeah.
You may complete your
Oh, thank
your
you.
thought.
You may say something now.
Appreciate that. So, we've got a person here who's looking for their family. Obviously, that strikes a chord with me. Are we seriously going to take this person for basically 90% of anything we find for a case that we'd have no idea how long it'll last? It could be years.
I agree. I do have a counter offer for them.
Which is?
Let's hear it.
Well, I mean, if we can somehow get it confirmed, but Mog deemed herself a fighter. We are looking for hires. We could. It's been no sweat off of our back to help each other in a family or close personal situation as members of the company. It wouldn't be a stretch to add one more, especially if it's someone we don't have to pay outright to get us to join on our own quest.
If we offer an equal share of any bounty we find.
Guys, we've got an intern.
No.
Margaret, the intern.
80s intro, just Margaret turning to the camera and just intern underneath.
Don't talk about 80s intros. I've been building them all week. I'll make it happen.
Presenting tonight's game show, DM Roach. DM Roach. The elf, Rivallon.
Yes. So Isaac proposes
Bite
that
me.
as an idea to the company members assembled.
I think we should go with your idea, Isaac. We should offer her fair stake.
I do think we should. We'll offer her as the idea and then find a way to test her abilities first as well. There is,
An interim.
What kind of fighter is she?
yes, we've been through the ringer together. I would hate to.
A black dragon?
Well, no, I'm
Orlan
just
Sky
saying,
Dragon. Excuse you.
We need a
It
bit
was
more
black.
information on her, and like what she can do. I don't, as much as I would like to help her, and as much as we need help, I would hate to be the cause of getting. I don't want
An
to get her
innocent
in
life
with it
taken.
knocked up. Yeah, you know what I mean. It's the risk over,
What would be your suggestion for proving?
Maybe we keep her around while we're in town. Say, look, we're going to be in town for a while. We're going to take a few jobs, maybe.
There's
And we'll
understand.
test her.
There is understanding that some mercenary companies have that many of my family members have worked with. That usually the companies have what's called full share. That if you are full share, you are a full member, you get full share. People who are new, who are unproven, untested, unknown, get half share. They get half of what everyone else gets. My suggestion is she be half share until such time she proves, unless we agree that she is performing in a capacity that gives her full share. She is asking us to do a job that's going to potentially take us out of our way. And then, Isaac, understand your problem is very important, and I will be honest here. You are like family to me now. I want to solve your issue like you helped with mine. We don't know her. Not so
At this
keen
point-
to go help her on her mission.
At this
If
point,
it's
Seth
going
just
to
pulled out
distract
an
from
inkwell, a quill, and some parchment, and is writing a contract.
So I would say that yes, we help her as member of company, but we don't like. I don't want to not help someone, but you know we have.
Then we find a
important
job. We
Yeah,
test her.
I think that's...
Yes, I like the sound of that. Rival.
Yes. We go with the half share. We take a local job, something small, something that we know we can handle. We test her out, and if we decide, hey, she's worth keeping around, eventually we'll bump her up to a full share.
Eventually,
this-
or we will.
I
Well, hopefully we
I
will.
mean, I hope it gets to that point, honestly, and
I don't want to
solves-
cheat her out, but we
No.
need to prove. Is
No, it's
all I.
I don't
Okay,
want to drag
I'll
her
put it
into
to
the
her
middle of the desert in front of Liban and get her killed, you know?
That's fair.
Right.
Finish the contract.
I'll put it to her.
Justinia to read it because Justinia's signed it.
Justinia looks over, sort of trying
Yeah.
to assess her capabilities as a fighter from equipment, general looks.
Rival, you broke a chord with her. You explain our counter offer while we work out the contract.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
You can-
wouldn't
Pick up
necessarily say
another
that-
table.
Yeah.
Look up some- writing things down, yeah.
So I'll go and
Justinia-
sit down with
Isaac,
Mog.
Isaac
Okay.
wouldn't necessarily say from how she looks that she's going to get eaten up. I mean, come on, she's
Yeah, actually, what do we see
Looks
when we like see
reasonable.
the, like? Is she armored? Is she got weapons? Like, what have we seen from?
Well,
do you want the
Mog.
breakdown,
Yeah.
Midge?
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, but, like,
yes. Justinia is sizing her up, like in terms of her equipment, where she looks like an experienced fighter, etc., etc. Because he doesn't believe Isaac's thing of saying, "Well, we don't want to put this fragile person in front of someone." Like, I think Justinia knows she's not fragile.
I mean-
she's got
She's seen a fair
medium
few
armor.
fighters before. Okay.
She's got medium armor. She's got a scimitar. So a propped up across by the table is a crossbow. But that doesn't look like her main weapons. There's something about her.
Okay.
As a spellcaster, do I see anything that could be a
focus?
what's it called? A focus, yeah.
The book I'm reading is from my patron.
Well, they wouldn't know you had a patron.
No, that's true.
No.
But
no,
if it's,
but
I
it
don't
looks
know
like she's
whether
got an
it's
arcane
something
point.
magical.
Okay.
Yeah, the
Well,
book looks like something important.
they don't have a magical thing, but I can say this just to help you out a little bit. The book is definitely ornate enough that itself could be a focus. From what you know about arcane focuses, some casters use a book to channel wizards, or very
Wizards,
competent ones use that. So you can see it's ornate enough. It's a bit morose because it's black. Like there's no design on the front. There's no filigree. It's just it's a black book with old pages.
In my experience as an inquisitor, have I ever come across anything like that before?
Make a history check.
Crit.
It's
Crit fail. I'm calling it now.
probably, history.
Oh.
15.
15? It's kind of. Like you've definitely like encountered people that use books as an arcane focus. That's about all you really get. The design of the book doesn't necessarily indicate anything. Because there's no design on it, it's just a black book. It's just an old black book, and that's about it.
Frickin' Tom Riddle's diary over here.
Yeah. No, it's for some reason it's got a basilisk tooth sticking out of the cover.
The closer
There's a
we get, the
design of
more it
fangs on it.
whispers at us.
Yeah.
It writes back at you when you write in it.
You think if it was a person, it would have no nose for no reason.
Stop pottering it up. I'm I'm not to be messed with when it comes to Potter.
She really isn't.
Well, given the fact that you specifically stated you went to a magic school,
I did.
It's your character, yeah. But yeah, that's what you get. Definitely, could
Okay.
From what you get from that, possible spellcaster.
Just so we know what we're signing up.
That's what you all get when you look at her.
But yes, we're working out contract details. So Rivals sat with Mog.
Okay. We've discussed it. And we don't agree with your terms.
Sorry, I can't reduce them anymore.
You're going the wrong way. What we suggest is that your job would possibly take years to complete.
It may, yes.
So, what we suggest is, as we have no idea what kind of fighter you are, we just have your word to go on. We're on various quests around the whole of the land. We take jobs to maintain our funds while we do that. We suggest that we take a job in the local area to test your skills. If we find you to be of sufficient
Merit?
Yes, merit. Good idea. Then what we'll do is we'll make you a full member of the Turquoise Company. You'll get an equal share of any loot bounties we take. And in the meantime, we will also help you look for your brother.
I wasn't expecting this, so...
You would have to prove yourself in battle. We are going to take on a very dangerous druid who has demonic help.
Really? That's... Oh.
When we leave Takovo, we will be going to the Grey Wastes to meet them in battle. We will not take someone with us who cannot survive a major conflict.
Very well. I accept these terms.
I do have one question. Your sword doesn't look well used and your crossbow is practically brand new. What exactly can you offer in the way of combat?
It's best not to show you in an enclosed space, Master Elf.
Okay, what are you?
Master Elf.
I'm a warlock.
Oh, that explains everything. Okay.
You just see Isaac go.
Okay.
Isaac
We may have
and
just
Sesh
employed a warlock.
Isaac and
You just
Sesh
see
look up from the
Sesh's
contract,
ears, like you see Sesh's ears hole just go, boop, just preak up a little bit, like 'cause she can hear this probably because her
Yeah,
her
we were
passive,
like
so.
only a table away, and like Isaac just goes, oh.
Sesh seems notably less worried about the fact that there's a warlock now. But she's like looking over the contract with Justinia, and she's like, so far I've got like the recruit. Does that work for you? Does that seem fair?
He's doing like grammar.
Yeah, like she's wanting to make sure
Justinia-
that all the words work out because Justinia has probably seen contracts.
You've worked in the
Justinia understands terms, and he understands, like, when you verbally set out terms, he understands conditions and things like that. When it relates to mercenary work, because he's plenty of relatives have done it, and he's done a little bit himself, he understands with trade and making a fair deal, or at least, if it's one-sided, it's not too one-sided, you're getting something out of it for a reason. He doesn't do contracts.
Okay.
Well, you've
You're asking a
contract.
step
so, like,
nomad to
Why not
grade.
we just go with a
written
verbal
contract.
contract?
So like when Justinia's like, yeah, I'm not really great with the whole, contract thing. I jump to the terms and I say, so it says I will join at half. I will assign myself to half membership of the Turquoise Company. Take half of the expected share of the loot and payment, but at the members' discretion of at least 2 of 4 members, declare you a full member. So when 2 of us decide,
No. It should be a majority, not
okay,
half
so
and half.
3 of the 4.
Yes, that
we also don't have 4 members of the entire company.
we have 5. even
Yeah,
though the
but-
fifth's not here.
So just say
Yeah.
a majority of the company.
A majority. Okay, so yeah, she
Yeah.
she like takes a different paper out, writes it out again, and says a majority of the company decides
well,
that you have
Isaac will
earned
help
it.
grammar things because
Yeah.
he
I'll
was,
say
like-
you have a decent contract together. You're able to craft one fairly quickly. Not like a hyper detailed one, but it's enough that it
Doesn't
would
need to be.
stand.
Yep.
It would stand what you would expect the court system of the republics would put it towards. And there's a little section for Mog to sign.
Yeah, there's
there,
at the
you
bottom.
pass
It's
it up.
signed by recruit and then members to say that they've signed off on it on the recruitment. Yep.
So you get all that
yeah,
together.
we'll have a sort of. Here's an idea. We'll have a sort of
Can
a
we save this
full-fledged
for the
member.
contract law podcast?
Yeah,
We will say that at least one of the group has to take responsibility for an initiate.
Mm.
And I think, seeing as it touched as much of a chord with him, I think Rival should be the one to co-sign alongside Mog's name.
Why is no one calling him Rivallon anymore?
Yeah, I was gonna say Rival's
Rivallon,
not
sorry.
a part of the Turquoise Company.
Sorry, it's
Rivals
they're
part
just so
of.
damn close in name that my head.
You see, Rivals
I'm guessing
part
that's
of
the
Rivals
one.
Reapers.
That's the one regret Rival has for the character is that name. Yeah.
And I made that name
See,
simply because it was easy for me to remember, and I wouldn't have to do anything. It was my first time playing
I am-
D&D, and
I am
now
willing to
I can't
carte
get called
blanche-
it anymore.
Well, yeah.
To be honest, I just took my nickname initials from Discord and internet in general,
Is that
Utarionzo, and
easy?
just
I mean, I do it with
Yeah.
Utari as well. To be fair.
Well, yeah.
I think the problem isn't you, it's me.
Hey, Rival, I'm willing to carte blanche allow you to change the name of your character for and
Rivallon could
canon.
be your last name.
Yeah, Rivallon could be your last name if you
Oh,
wanted
I
to
don't have a
think
last
on that.
name. I don't know who my family
Or-
was, do I?
That's true. That's true. Yeah,
I just
but either
know
way,
that they
I'm
were
willing to
killed.
allow that in the future. But you are presented with a contract, Mog. That those are of the requirements that were stated here. Those are there. They seem fair when you read it.
If I apologise, but I just need to ask one thing, because I know my own abilities, but I have no idea about you guys. So
Cleric.
I just want to know, what is on that gentleman's head?
It's a Displacer Beast head. I've got the coat on my horse.
A
Yeah, he
displaced
killed that
beast.
thing. From what I know, I was here after.
We
got
killed it.
Oh,
It was a group
Come
effort.
outside. Come outside. We've got something bigger to show you.
Oh yeah, we got a
Oh,
black
yeah.
dragon skin outside. Come on, it's £100 worth of stuff. Seriously.
You.
No, it's like 600 pounds worth of stuff. Sessions.
Wow, it was over £100.
400
Oh yeah, I have its
£50.
heart right here.
You killed a dragon.
A black dragon.
Yes.
She signs on the
An
top.
Orlan Sky Dragon. The Dragonborn corrects you again.
I
Justinia,
still want to see the skin, but yes, I'm signing. Yes.
and
Yes,
with the
please,
signature, Justinia buys a drink for the new initiate.
Oh.
Just tea for me, please. Thank you.
What? Just tea? Oh,
If,
okay.
If I drink too much, the orc in me comes out somewhat, and you don't need to meet.
And I'm back.
Yet. Sash says with a little bit of a tilt to your head.
Okay, don't go out drinking with Justinia then, just so I let you know.
If
Yeah,
you heard
I've
my
heard-
voice
I've heard
cracking
stories.
earlier when I was talking of my brother, that was the orc. She's okay. She's just a bit over emotional, and I like to.
Okay.
keep
We
it
all
more
can be that.
controlled.
Justinia
missed
looks
when
over
I,
at
disconnected?
Rivallon, and he's like, "What do you mean, don't go out drinking with me? We've done it loads of times. Like, good fun."
Yeah, remember the last time you decided you were going to have a little bit of a drinky and you then decided you were going to try and dress up R1 in a uniform and have him kind of con his way into the library so we could get access to it early.
Who's are we?
I
No,
don't
last time you guys got
remember.
drunk was in the. Well, yeah, he doesn't remember that. Last time you guys- yeah, last time, I'll say, yeah, you don't remember a damn thing that night.
I
Last.
don't remember that.
yeah,
When
last
was
big,
that?
Yeah, last big drinking time you had was like a week ago.
Even
when-
Isaac got hammered.
Yeah, I
when
was
your brother
fine, though.
won.
I didn't
Rival
drink.
wasn't. Rivallon wasn't there. Right, myself.
Yeah.
Um,
What did I miss, by the way? Because I disconnected for a minute and a half. there, and
We
I
just
was-
offered to buy Red a drink, essentially.
Okay, yeah.
And then we got in a
Um,
conversation about drinking.
But yes, you have been presented with the contract.
She signed it.
I've signed it. I heard there was
Oh,
a
yeah,
dragon
she signed it.
involved.
All Yeah. right. So
Dragons interest me.
with the contract signed.
Hi.
Wrong dragons.
Another person looking for Dragonborn. Would you believe it? We lose one, we gain one.
But yeah, you've signed the contract now.
Oh,
What
you
are-
asked who R1 is, didn't you?
Yes, it's come up a couple of times in your conversations, and I'll need to start learning your names, obviously, but there was no Arwen when I was introduced.
No,
Arwen's
R1
the
is.
halfling bard who used to travel with us. He's still part of the company. Hopefully one day he'll come back, but because of our current quest with the druid, he decided to go back to his old school and stomping grounds to see if he could learn anything of the demon she's allied with.
Huh, okay. Very well. Actually, speaking
Also,
of that, did I hear you mentioned you wanted to go to the library? To look up...
I did, yes. I've got a few things to research on our future endeavors. The others need to do a massive amount of shopping, so. And I am.
There's also you probably will want to inform your parents of this, right?
I will, I'll write them a note, and
If
they'll
you
find
want,
out in 2
I
weeks.
can
I've got a-
cast sending.
I've got a sending stone. Either or.
We have, yeah, I can cast sending, and Isaac here has a sending. So
I will send
Your
a
membership
message
comes
this
with 3
morning when I know
minutes.
some more. Thank you.
Here's the company phone.
your membership comes with one single 25-letter, 25-word message a day.
Master Isaac, I just wanted to let you know that I can read any language. So if you would like me to accompany you to the library, then if there's something you cannot read, then I may be able to assist.
Where were you earlier? These people are idiots. They
Hey.
can't read Rotesian.
Hey, I picked up pretty quickly on it.
Yeah, Sesh did good. I like Sesh, you did good. But the
I'm
others.
disappointed in all of
idiots.
you, except you. You're fine.
Yay, thanks.
Your skills will come in handy, thank you. In Warlocks, man, being able to cast, what's it called? It's like
Oh no, that's not a
forbidden
spell.
knowledge. No,
It's not a
it's
spell.
like it's part of their pact, isn't it? It's like the ability to just
Yeah.
go.
She
"Yeah,
can
I
read every
read."
language. She can
Yeah.
read every language that exists.
It's also like later, don't you get like a free
Which I'm
cast of
going to say-
tongues as well?
I normally won't do this, but I'm going to say this since it's been a month since we last played. You currently have an item in your possession that is a language that none of you can read. With
Oh
writing.
yeah, the brooch.
The brooch that you found on the dragon's
Oh.
saddle.
Okay. Yeah, start with this. Go into the bag of holding, and I pull out the brooch.
What on earth is that bag?
It's a bag of holding. It holds a lot of stuff, surprisingly enough.
It's a pocket
The
dimension in
clue
a sack.
is in the name.
I've never seen one.
Condescending.
They're very useful.
I can imagine.
Yeah, you're presented with a brooch, Mog. It is a gold and it's a golden brooch. It's been painted. That has also a ruby inlet for one of its colors. The design of which you can find in the images and maps section. I think it's just the mysterious symbol. Yeah, mysterious symbol. Thing. There's a yellow kind of crescent with a red crescent intersecting at 2 points. And on the back of it, there is writing. I'm just going to double check. I don't think your actual thing states you know what language it is. You can just
No.
read
You
it.
can just read it.
I can just read it.
Yeah,
You know, you
Unless
don't
it's
know
one of the
which
languages I know.
Well, yeah, then you'd just be able to read it.
Yeah, then you just be able to read it.
Yeah, read it.
Yeah.
Then you could just go, oh, I know this language.
I know this one.
Whilst you're looking, Roach, has any... I can't remember, did anyone do detect magic on it? Because I've got Eldritch Sight.
Yes, we did.
No, we
Yes.
didn't.
I'm sure we did.
Oh no, you didn't. Yeah, because none of you could cast.
Nope,
detect
I did an
magic.
Arcana check, but that's not the same as detect magic. I got it.
I apologise. No, we didn't.
Okay. Has
Again, we
anyone-
lost the bard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has anyone
lost our
seen
one
if
arcane.
this is a
They've been
magical
really hamstrung by that.
No, we
by
haven't.
the loss.
Yep.
item?
Nope.
I have Eldritch. I can see magic. Would anyone mind if I looked and see if it was
By
magical?
all means.
By all means,
Okay.
my lady.
I cast out.
Although
Eldritch
maybe
Sight
we
as well,
should
Roach.
do this in the middle of a bar in a tavern.
Too
No,
late.
we
Already.
probably Especially,
Eyes glow.
especially an elvish bar. I think they
Everything
might be a
starts
bit-
shaking and the lights dim out.
Okay, we're gonna have to
some
figure out
unknown
where
tongue.
to do this.
Well, we just
I'm actually gonna say it's not an invocation thing or anything like that. It's just something you can do. Like
Yeah.
it's a part of you. So the language thing is just always on.
Yep.
You can
It's
just,
awesome.
you just
So it's
read
like
it.
that phone Google Translate that you just hold up is in
Yeah,
front of your
yeah.
face
It's
all the time.
like I said, it's not a spell. It's just something she has. It doesn't require an action or anything. Because it's the Eldritch
I went for
Invocation.
the nerdiest
Yeah.
warlock I could find.
Yep.
Great
Funny enough, that
success.
we've had this type of warlock in a party
Great
before.
success.
Yeah. So, what you see in front of you is something. Well, you see writing in front of you, and you just the knowledge of what it means pops into your head. And what
it
it
says?
reads. I'm not going to tell you anymore now. It's
Fuck you.
Because you're a bastard. Okay, yeah. What it says is on the back of it. It says, "To my dearest Nathaniel, this is for you and your long travels to the restoration."
I say that out to the group.
Well, that's sad.
The restoration strikes a chord with previous things we've heard, but I don't know if it's previous campaign things.
It's a previous campaign thing.
Fuck.
Sesh looks kind of sad when you mentioned dearest Nathaniel. She's like, oh.
No, I swear we've come across it in this campaign as well.
You have not.
Fuck.
Yes, this is the first one.
This is the first one. Because it was literally one of the first things you found. You found a letter to the head werewolf that was signed for the final restoration.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I can't.
but
tell
that was
you
the last
anything else.
campaign.
Yeah, that was
Yep.
the last campaign.
And
is
it's
it-
an Eldritch
is it
Invocation for
actually-
you to detect magic. So it actually does have magic on it.
Oh.
It is a minor enchantment. When worn properly as a brooch, it means that the piece of clothing that it's warmer. It's basically a magical hand warmer.
Oh, that's cool.
It's a heater.
I'm
It's,
putting
it's a,
that.
It's
like,
a nice thermal vest.
Oh, it's a brooch of thermal healing. I have another thing that you can probably read. I'm gonna pick up.
And by
one of the
that, I want to
strange
point out
coins.
extreme cold is not affected by it. It basically provides no mechanical benefit whatsoever, but it just keeps you a little warm when it's on.
It's
That's
that's
the
quite
benefit.
cute.
Wearable
toasty.
hug.
Oh, we might be able to sell it for a
I'm
decent
gonna
amount.
take out one of the strange coins and say, does this have any denotation on it? Does it say the name of a leader? Does it have an empire name on it? Does it? Yeah.
Oh God! God.
Roach is like fucking notes.
God damn it! Why the hell did I let her become a warlock?
Roach, you've
Isaac.
given us a utility character. Well, you've allowed us to have another character in it, which has turned out we've got a replacement utility person. So Isaac's question
nerd
list is
warlock.
going to get ticked
No,
off.
but the fact
So
is,
what
you've been
Isaac's
with the
doing
group
here
for
Fucking
about
nerd
5 minutes,
warlock.
The application exam.
Yeah.
And you're answering
It's just-
questions we've had for many
Read
months.
this, please. One thing after another.
I've had pages of shit that I haven't had to tell you. I haven't even put it in like
Actually,
transparencies.
before
It's not
before you
that-
start doing that,
So-
Mog, Isaac, would you give me the sheet while I go out and buy all the shit we need to do? Because we're killing daylight here.
It's noon.
Yeah. You're muted.
You're muted. Can't hear you.
He's talking to someone else.
Oh. So
Uh,
will Isaac give her the paper or just not?
Yes, he did. That was the motion. He was handing it over.
Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, she will take the sheet of paper. Anything that you guys want her to sell, let me know. Otherwise, she's going to go out and look for the best armor she can find in town, and a really nice jewel shop where she can buy and sell those. She can buy diamonds and sell those rubies.
you head out.
Okay. Don't forget about my sword and my armor.
Yeah. Sword and that's the
We'll
armor.
get into that when we go into that because it's gonna.
That's the armor.
Yeah.
We'll just say
Needs
you
to be
tell
fitted up.
beforehand.
I
yeah.
want to get my wolfly armor. And
So, okay, coins
Construction.
actually have writing on it. They have the writing, the same writing that's on the brooch. They have a date stamp on it. Date stamp varies between the coins, plus or minus 10 years was what you're assuming the dates are. The earliest being 821 and the latest being 835.
When are we now?
18.
So 1,000 years old.
Or
no,
they have a different calendar.
They have a different calendar is another thing. Yeah, because it doesn't. It's these aren't that old from the looks of them. They are pretty fresh mint. The later ones. Campaign 2. Okay. All right. So yeah, that's the thing. And the writing on that's the top writing. The back writing dates. All of them have the same design on them. Looks like the gold coins are all similar. Or the coins. What was it? They're gold, right? That you got.
Gold and Illyrium.
Gold and Illyrium. Yeah. The gold coins. Have a name on them. It says, and a picture on one face, and it has a name underneath. And the gold coins have Alas. Alas first name, first of his name, Alas. And
Okay.
the Illyrium. The Illyrium has a picture profile, and it says. Astra, second of her name, Grand Uniter.
Do any of those names mean anything to me, given my background and the fact
Make a
that
history
I
check.
do a lot of reading?
history check.
Ooh, I
Make
get
a
to in
history
the first check.
Skills.
Skills.
Yeah, first roll.
And that, which
Double
one?
click.
Double click on that.
No, double click on the dice.
No.
16.
No, you don't know anything.
No. Okay.
Sorry, I can't give you like a big thing.
Good
None
roll,
of the names.
but
Good
yeah.
roll. None of the names mean anything to you.
Okay. Well, I tell everyone.
Do they mean anything to the rest of us?
I guess
It does to me, but
Damn
not
it.
my character.
Oh,
history
we're
check
going
if you want to
meta
see.
again.
Yeah,
I'm
going
trying.
meta
Yeah,
range.
I'm not metaing. I'm not metaing.
Oh, I'm
No.
rolling for.
I'm just trying to think if my character would know anything about that kind of history. Possibly for.
What history?
I'm not saying out loud because it's meta.
Nobody here is gonna metagame because I'll
Okay.
punish them.
he will
History
tie us up and take his
to
whip.
do with the basically it's the history of the successor kingdoms, isn't it? It's the whatever the general that they had, and it's that stuff, isn't it?
Look, the
It's
only
along
successor
that
states that I
lines.
know are like the
It's
Steiners
tangentially related.
and the
Steiner,
the-
yeah. By the way, as soon as I'm playing MW, and as soon as I'm playing Mech Warrior 5, I'm definitely Steiner. Steiner all the way. House Steiner.
Well,
Well, you started
like,
Davian, so just letting you know.
Well, I'll drop that quick.
And you have no choice, but you have to start in Davian, and you have to make friends with them.
You have to make friends with them. Then you go through.
Either
I
way,
think it's Lyrian,
Midge.
and then
You,
and Steiner's last.
I know that they called that original like general hero was sometimes referred to as the Great Uniter. Sometimes I think there's a okay. There was something.
well,
that
they
was
were great.
ringing a
The
bell.
Great Uniter, yes. This one
Yeah.
specifically is the Grand Uniter.
Okay. So there's
It has
similarity.
a tangential. It has a somewhat tangential relation to that. So if you want to roll, yeah, go ahead.
Go for it. Fantastic. I'm not gonna do this. I can already feel it. That's a fault. Oh my god! I've only rolled 14s tonight.
It's true. It's
Well, that's
true,
great.
and-
I've only rolled single digits
No.
today.
No, you do not know about this.
I've broken the Steplands curse though. That means.
It's true. It's true. You've rolled moderately well. Since this. Is there anything else you'd like your new party member to answer for you?
You Google Translate. No, I think so. I think what we're doing now is breaking into shopping team and research team. You guys can take our group's form, and I can go with Mog because she has her.
But is
Catch up
hers for
with
only
Sash.
one person, or is it?
Does it state on it one person?
Does it
Actually,
say to
neither.
met one person?
None of the neither of them state the specific amount of people that are part of
Then we're good.
Yeah, cool. If not, I was gonna get an ink and go and just change it.
Remind me, it was Ustinian's
Turns out
horse
one
that
to a
had
seven.
all of the
Yeah.
hide on it, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I am assuming you either went and stabled the ones that needed to be stabled and brought the ones that needed to be
She would have
brought.
stabled all the ones that need to be
But
stabled.
we'll
and brought
say
Ustinian's horse
this
back.
happened within enough time that you can meet up with Sesh if you want to go do the shopping thing, or you can if you want to do that. She's not too far away. You see her as soon as you leave the place if you wanted to. So let's kind of montage the shopping. Well, let's montage some stuff.
Montage. We need a montage.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. So that's happening.
Montage.
That's happening. So let's go to while that's going on and you're buying and selling things, which will get done fairly quickly. While that's going on, Mog and Isaac go to the Grand Library of.
Sounds like a children's
Cova.
book.
How'd you know?
That's what Roach is doing. That's his side hustle. He's making children's books out of all our adventures.
Yeah,
They
he hasn't
wouldn't
written
be
one about the
children's.
murderous elf yet.
Yeah, they would. Yeah, he's omitted. So,
It's like an Aesop's fable on getting over the feelings of revenge. It's just
so-
a long progress for this one.
yeah, it takes a
So
while.
long.
So, yeah, you both head towards the Grand Library, which we've stated before is a huge building that takes up a large chunk of the. If you look at the map, it's that big off-green pentagon, or not pentagon.
Yeah.
Yeah, is it pentagon? 1, 2.
No,
Yeah,
it's six
it's
sides.
a weird hexagon.
It's a weird
Yeah.
hexagon. Yeah, it looks like a pentagon, but it's hex. That size. Either way, that is its size. That is the footprint of the building in scale. So, humongous building, grand stone with ever burning. What do you call those things?
Braziers.
Like braziers on the tops of the building. Just big. Think like mythical Greek kind of feel to it. Giant dome stuff. You go to the library. Mog, you've been in here once before. You were able to pay for a limited pass to get in, as it is normally only available to researchers that are accredited, or individuals who have passes. Passes can be bought or they can be earned. You used a bit of money to get a pass for a day. Yes.
As a note, I've taken off my breastplate, so the Star of Palor is like the big one that's on my like.
Okay.
My
You
undercloak.
approach the Grand Library, which has a giant symbol of salute, on a banner
I know,
on it.
but I'm prepping for.
Yes. But you enter comically. There is a small little cutout with a window for the individual who is manning the entrance. Like, comically small compared to the fucking humongous door that opens into this thing. That you, like, a giant could walk fully erect through this, like, with no, like, not hunching over anything like that. Just a full, like hill giant could walk through it, and not touch the actual top of the door. There's a small woman sitting on the other side of this window. You've had to deal with her before, Mog. Your pass would still be valid for yourself if you basically paid up for 2 days. You used your 1 day. Now this is your second day that they're going to check off of the pass, essentially.
How much is it for another pass for Isaac?
It is a $50 fee per day. $50
$50.
gold piece. 50 gold piece
gold
per
piece.
day.
I only
is-
have 100 gold pieces to my name, by the way, guys.
I
Just letting
paid
you know.
for I paid for Isaac's.
That's that's very kind of you.
You can pay me
At
back
least-
later. You don't have the gold on you now at the moment, do you?
No, because Sesh has the bag.
Just take some out of the party fund. You could have asked her for it before she left.
No, we can't touch the gold in the party fund because that is all the weird pieces from the other aisle.
Is it?
Pretty much,
Some of
yeah.
it. Some of
Yeah.
it, yes.
Huh.
What is
Well, I
the
thought we
name
had
of
more than
the-
200 Illyrian pieces in the pile.
You had one Illyrian piece. 200 of that is the other one. One piece is
Oh.
an actual Illyrian piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you transferred everything you could from, and that was the one left.
Oh, that's all right then.
In that case, I get my share when we get our next contract plus 50.
What is the other pass holder's name?
Isaac.
Isaac.
Just Isaac.
Isaac Jack, got it.
Why is everybody so
Mog looks
determined?
at you curiously, like who wants around with that surname?
Rivallon.
We got
Isaac, are you by chance a part of the kind of like very decrepitly old one, shuffling over, looks over a small note, like a little parchment piece. The Turquoise Company? Would you happen to know an R1?
Yes, it's a good friend of mine.
I thought you'd be coming.
He
here.
actually
There you
got
go.
thrown out of the library.
Fine for him to play for late return.
No. He got thrown out
This
for
was-
chatting up the door attendant.
Yeah.
This was left for you. She hands through the window a parchment like letter that has a seal on it.
Oh.
One of the librarians here was actually his ex-wife.
Is it a
So his
familiar
future
seal?
ex-wife.
It's a generic seal.
Oh, just generic. Okay.
Yeah.
I will open it then.
You open it. There's two pieces of paper inside. One that has a note on it, and one that is a pass.
Oh.
Oh,
Uh,
damn it.
I've
I'll
I.
get my money back on
It seems I have a pass.
On it, it says it's a carte blanche, one for the Turquoise Company members. It is paid through as R1 was able to get an accreditation from his school.
Oh, nice! Freaking university money. Nah.
The university
So-
grants, big money.
So any Turquoise Company individual that has that pass or will be allowed in, and it has no there's no limit on it. It doesn't have checks.
Free research.
He made
Okay.
some
Plus
rolls.
5% research rate.
What does the letter say?
It's a hello, Isaac. I thought you might be coming here, so I decided to leave this instead of taking it with me. Hopefully, you get more use out of it than I did. I will be heading up to the Northern Silnal to check my school's library and track down some leads.
I like how he knew that it was Isaac that was going to the library.
I might like to read.
It wasn't
Maybe.
a hard. It wasn't a hard.
It was a 50-50. It was a 50-50 chance between me and Sesh, if I'm honest.
I'm
In
surprised
all
you didn't
honesty,
pick Sesh.
if
I
you were
might
gonna,
want
if
to
you were
learn
gonna
about more
go,
efficient
if
ways
you
of
were gonna
killing
go there,
people.
it was gonna be both of you. If it was gonna be, it was gonna be both of you if Sesh was going. Let's be honest. So yeah, you have that, which does technically now also include Mog,
Yes.
since you contracted. So yeah.
What's
She
that?
looks at it. If that's, it's like you're allowed in. It kind of shuffles over, and you hear, yeah, basically that. Yes, you hear. And it starts getting faster and faster as and then you see the doors go, kind of shift for a second, and then just open slowly, swinging inward towards like the interior building, and holy shit, this is like 7
City
floors.
size.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just going up as you walk in, and then a couple of seconds later you hear, and it's just like it starts closing back up again, and
I
there
hope
is
she's
a.
okay.
She probably gets
Sweet, merciful son, father.
It's rather wonderful,
And you
isn't it?
see lots of individuals shuffling about, books in their hands. There's like rows of research tables, and light is being provided through magical means instead of burning flames. So it's just like orbs that emit
Safety.
light.
Safety for the books,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, emit light. It's humongous.
So this is Library of Alexandria we're talking.
Yeah, this is the Grand Library. It is the largest collection of knowledge.
A load of
in
people
the
walking
world.
around with chains as well. Just
Well, no, you
locks,
see.
different locks.
Well, you do see individuals that have the symbol of saloon emblazoned on their chest, hoods up, like carting books and things, like returning things.
Isaac has flashback
various-
to dead children.
Yeah. To various bits and pieces of knowledge that are being put back on shelves and replaced.
So, I turn to Mog. The research you're doing, what are we looking for you?
I am looking for notices in journals and news pamphlets about the. What do I call them? Hang on, let me check my book of Mog.
No worries.
The Book of Mog.
That's actually a really... That sounds like a
Yeah.
D&D item in itself.
Yeah.
Book of Mog.
Also, the reference was to the guy who
Big
ran
Pete.
into you and tipped us off to the hags was a ex-follower of Saloon. Got kicked out of the library. With the whole
Yeah.
thing. That was the whole reference.
A family.
But now I've
named
had to
the
explain
King-
it, so it's not funny.
A family named the King's Oaks, or a boy / man named Harry Pomfret Longsbury. What in particular are you looking for? Because if we may be able to divide and conquer somewhat.
Quite different information. I'm
basically looking up
for-
the directory of somebody's address. He's looking up like how to make a nuclear bomb, essentially.
I'm essentially looking for.
How do you
points of
unsummon a
significance
demon?
Points of significance at a certain location within a desert that might have relation to the old Crusades of Palor, / Bahamut. I also
Hey,
need
we were
to-
defending.
Yeah,
you're in the
exactly.
right.
It might have been your castle.
Fair.
And also about a lesser deity by the name of Zagul. Question: I'm guessing Harry is your brother.
He is.
Your last name has a certain
Poshness.
connotation of what? Location. Where are you from? Exactly. Just
I can never
it will help,
remember.
obviously.
Hang on.
Back to the Book of Mog.
No, it's not in the Book of Mod because I haven't really picked a place. I'm just sort of from a random area at the moment. I'm up north. I'm northern.
So am I.
Oh, so you're from the same area as Isaac.
Which is
We're
kind
from
of-
the Old Kingdom's posh bit.
Well,
Is she
the
from
old
the same
kingdoms-
kingdom as mine?
The old kingdoms are all posh. That's their. That is.
Hello.
That is
really
their
doesn't narrow
character.
it down at all.
I can't. Which is the world map, Roach? I can't ever.
Iral.
Iral, yeah.
They're all fine.
Iral.
Iral.
That's it.
You can sort. You can. If you open up the things, you can sort by new, and that'll have all the ones I added instead of the ones that are the rule books and stuff.
I can't remember
Uh,
which. I think I said maybe the Cardinal Empire, although it might be at the Aglor coast. But it's one of those two. It's purple or yellow.
I'm from
Let's
the
go
yellow one,
Cardinal
so-
Empire. Let's go with Cardinal Empire.
Yeah, it's easy to remember. And I'm going to write it down in the Book of Mog.
It's being added to the
Cardinal
Book of Mog.
Cardinal
I mean,
Empire.
I know both of those quite well, don't I?
Yeah, the monastery. Well, the monastery that you're from, it borders the northern Citadel.
Yeah.
It's in the Cardinal. It borders the northern.
I was from the Cardinal Empire, and then I went to somewhere in the mountains.
You went to
in
another
the-
place in the Cardinal Empire.
Essentially. Well, yes, yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm also from there. Is what I'm
Gonna have
trying to
make
pussyfoot
me make a
around.
map of this damn place because I haven't
Yes,
thought of a
Isaac?
goddamn single town in this country.
Well, I'll help you if you want. If it's... Nope. Okay. What was I going to say? I'm trying to pussyfoot around the.
Are you
I'm sorry if
questioning
this is a
why
bit
I'm
forward.
half an orc?
I got the half orc part. It's the other half. Double-barreled names tend to be common in certain races. I'm not full blood myself. Oh god, this is just.
My
This
mother
is
was
so
noble
awkward.
Please
My
help.
mother was noble-born. My stepfather is also noble-born. They joined their names when they married.
Right. Okay. That makes a lot more sense. I was thinking halfling. No.
I'm not sure an orc and a halfling would do very well together, but
You never know.
I mean,
Strange
mechanically.
R1.
Trust me, we know a halfling. that would
R1 is
totally
like,
go
I
with
will
an orc.
try anything at least once.
I guess
Yes.
it's like a Great Dane and a Chihuahua. It would be which one's which.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually have a book for you, Roach, if you want to know that sort of thing. There's like
What?
Anyone.
further details. One of like a D&D sort of writer I follow has a.
Oh, I mean, if I
in-
needed to, I could get the 3.5 book for erotic fantasy book.
Yeah, that's
Well,
great.
no.
Yeah.
But basically,
really?
it's a book of half bloods, and it's basically so it's half orcs, but it's like orc and elf, and like all of the
The
It's
book
the-
I
it's-
mentioned has that too, and
Yep.
and
Yeah.
also a
Yeah,
lot of
it's a great
details on a
read.
lot of.
I
other
mean,
things.
that one is worse for sure because that has
It's a-
like
it's a great read,
magical
actually, you know.
STDs in it, but
It's
like, if you
actually
ignore
incredibly
all that
detailed. And,
yeah, it's
and has very
scarily detailed.
It actually has
Um,
some very useful things to know about racial mixing and stuff in 3.5.
Racial mixing is a horrible term that we will never use ever again.
But
Interbreeding.
No,
that's,
stop it.
That's worse. That's
we're,
worse.
we're going to sound like fascists.
So you're
Please
doing some
stop.
research.
Yes.
So let's do some rolls on.
Let's do some research.
Do some rolling.
Okay.
So
I
let's
will-
do
I-
the easiest of the two first.
Yeah.
So, Mog, you're wanting to know some information about the family that your brother was given to. So I'm gonna need you to make a investigation check because you're spending time. You're going to be investigating the labyrinthine directory of this library.
Is it with assistance from me?
If you want to
So it's
help, yeah.
advantage. Yeah, I think it's better if we both try to tackle one and then
So
another.
It'll take
Would
longer
that be
for
with
you both to get
advantage?
Is that with
information.
advantage?
Well, I was just what I'm saying. If he wants to help, he can, and that will give advantage. But you will take longer to do the overall research. If you both tackle it at the same time for your own, then it won't take as long to do.
Oh,
everything
okay.
you do.
Uh,
That's what I'm saying.
how much time have we got? Is the thing.
It's noon, about noon.
And it closes at.
Never.
There
They
you go.
don't. It's not. It's not that kind of a library.
So
We've got all day, so I might as well help her.
Yeah, I was just saying,
Okay.
we've got to
So
show that
advantage.
we're actually trying to help her.
And
Yeah.
Advantage.
to
then.
be
Go
honest,
with
Isaac's gonna need me.
To
Yeah,
read.
exactly. It's favor.
Yep.
So-
So advantage. Go
Click
ahead.
advantage.
So click advantage.
Yeah, and now just click your investigation.
14.
14. Okay. Well,
You dropped
they
an
didn't
8.
have a high. Yeah,
That's-
didn't have a DC, so I didn't have a high DC. So yeah. What you get is what's the name of the family again? I have notes, but I don't
King
wanna go-
Soaks. I just wrote
King
it
The
down.
King's Oaks.
Okay. Good. Good. You're paying attention. That was a test.
I'll listen.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Book of
King
Mog
Soaks.
is coming out again.
Yeah, the King
I'm on the
Soaks
Book of
that you found out some information about them. They are a moderately powerful noble family that got its power through merchant dealings. They are not a classical or an old money family.
Is this the Cardinal Empire?
No, actually, they have a residence in the Cardinal Empire.
Okay.
But what you can tell is basically you're looking this up through. There's 3 books that you find, and they're all directories on like, they're all like books about merchant guilds, trade kind of relations, and that kind of stuff. And you're kind of piecing this together through all 3 of them.
Okay.
And you find out that the King Soaks are a very well-to-do, formerly low-born, but now have been given noble titles. Few nations actually, because they are very, very rich now. They own multiple skyships and a small trade fleet of what are known as they're known as glacier breakers, but they're basically icebreakers. They are these ships that are made in the freeholds, and they travel the northern coast throughout the entire year, and they're semi-magical in nature, but they can do ice breaking, even though they don't have engines. They're magical. And
Nice.
they use this to their advantage during the winter months because they're the only ones that can actually do shipping oversea into the Cardinal Empire and the Aguilar Coast and the Northern Silnal Kingdom during the winter months. So they became rich. They have a residence in the Cardinal Empire. They apparently have residences in the Silnal, the Gull Rivers, Teutonia. They have
Everywhere.
a mansion in Rapkus. They've a lot. They also are fair. They also have a secondary operation on the trade cities in the Grey Wastes. They are
But
very
where are they based?
popular. Yes.
Right, okay,
Originally.
it's like that,
Where
is
did,
it?
where did they originally hail?
Yeah. Where do they originally hail? There's no mention of that. In fact, there's very little mention of them before they became big. They're
So they're essentially the Medici.
yeah. They just kind of sprouted out of nowhere, and they own a shitload, and they are incredibly wealthy. And
Does it say
that
anything
seems-
about what they're like? Or has it all sort of been covered up by the fact they're incredibly wealthy, so they can
Make
write
an
their own
intelligence
press.
check. Make an intelligence check.
I should stop closing her.
No.
So that's.
Well, you
me.
can resize. You can resize it and like have it on if you want. Most of the windows are resizable.
Yeah.
11.
It's time for Rival to buy yet another monitor, so that way Red can have two.
The
We haven't got enough room on this desk.
Seriously, we technically do, but it wouldn't be.
Well, I
very
mean,
good.
get a stand like I have and go boom, boom.
yeah, you can get a couple of stands that decrease that, or just get like a vase mount, vase wall mount. If you have a wall behind there with a stud, you can kind of.
Can't drill into it. I'm not allowed.
Well, do what
okay.
I'm doing, where I've got a double stack stand, so it's a. I've got
Yeah,
one.
that's
There's
another
two
one.
on the same stand. Yeah.
From what you can tell, there's not a lot of mention about their character, but you do definitely notice a pattern in the fact that as soon as they start showing up in an area, and start trading in an area, their competition just isn't mentioned anymore.
So they're the Medici Mafia.
Yeah.
They kind of just push a lot of things out, and they're very cutthroat when it comes to competition. The only reason that they haven't expanded more is because they seem to be the places they don't expand to are places that usually have a monopoly from the Silver Sand Company. Silver Sand Trade Company, which is the government-owned trade company of the Dwarven Freehold.
So they don't want to get into
They
a
don't want
trade
to get
war.
into a trade war with Silver Sands.
So so it's basically the big private and a big somewhat public, but it's Silver Sand is basically just the East India Company, for a real life comparison. So with just as
So
bad.
it's Venice versus the East India Company, essentially.
Yeah, basically yes. So, that's what you get.
In
Okay,
the
this
few
downhearted
years
not
of
very
my
much.
in the few years that I was the kid of a noble in my growing up, did I ever meet anyone from this family in
Yes.
social parties or anything? Okay.
Yes, people are very, very quick to display the name, even when you normally you wouldn't, because like you remember there was a third cousin that was at a party, and they had that name, and that was about it. They're not like you don't.
No
know
one
them
knows
directly.
worthy. It's
No
just
one knows.
they're riding on the family no. Okay, cool,
Yeah.
cool.
You're writing on a family name and an obscene amount of wealth.
Okay. Mork is reading all this. It's downheartening her a bit because it's making it harder for her to sort of crack into to actually find actual information about what happened.
Just as a side, because you would have known this, you came here because they have a residence. Their listed residence, when you went to their residence in the Cardinal Empire, said they would be here. And when you got here, their home staff said they had gone on vacation after the attack, or not actually the timeline. No, they had gone on vacation, and the skyship that they personally own for personal conveyance was taken, and you haven't been able to get information because the Sky Tower is closed. And that record would also be great to forget because it's of where it went at that point. But
Okay.
you did question around a little bit before everything got kind of hectic, and they apparently went south. They went to like Paramin, would be like where some
That's in the
people
Grey
think they
Wastes.
went.
Grey Waste.
Yep. It's the second largest. Actually, I think it's the largest.
It's
trade city.
the largest. Alhut's the second, I think.
Yeah.
Mikey, correct?
Yeah, Alhut's the second largest, and Paramin is the largest. Alhut's on the peninsula, and then Paramin's up the coast on the right.
Well, Isaac, this has told me very little, apart from it looks like I want to go south too.
Do they have a registered address in Paramin? Can we see if we can find that? Because I have a map of Paramin that I bought, I believe. Paramin and
You
Alhut.
do. Yeah,
Um,
because
I buy maps. It's a hobby of mine.
That's his thing. That is his thing. Yeah, you can
then-
find like there's a list of the great families of Rivallon, and they're still new money, so people that make these lists don't like them.
Is my family name on there?
Is my family name on there?
No, yes.
No to me, yes to her.
Yes.
Fair.
And by the way, like, your family name, Mug, is well far back. Well far back. It's
Oh, yeah.
very low on the list. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's
Cool.
very,
We're
very
both-
minor.
But it's on
Of
there.
like, yeah, mine's even lower than that. So,
Yeah. But you can see they do have listed residents in Paramin, and it seems that they have a. I've got to check notes. Paramin. Grey Waste notes. No, that's a Steppe Kingdom.
well, is what I'll do is I'll take those addresses and mark them, if I can, on the Paramin map, so we know what addresses to be
They
looking
have
for.
they have a residence. Actually, they have two residences inside of Paramin. One is in the Grand Docks, the Grand Paramin Docks,
Right.
which is there, and then they have another one which is located in the Gallows Bridge district. Which, Gallows Bridge District, which is an incredibly small district of the town of the city. If you looked at Paramin, it's the one district, which I think is covered by the one. That's how small it is. It's incredible.
Okay.
Yep. So they have two residences in Paramin.
Good.
And by the way,
Sesh
like
might be
half a
able to give us
page
some
of
more
their
information on
residences.
this eventually. She's from the Grey Wastes, so she might have been there, seen their residents, know more of them. If these people are as prevalent as they are, was it these people that your brother was working for?
I'm willing to tell you the story, but I'd rather tell you when a bit
We're not in
further
a
into our
library.
journey.
Fair enough.
It's not that I won't trust you. It's just I get quite emotional when I'm telling it, and
Nope,
as
nope.
I say,
I
the York
completely.
comes out.
You've stepped into the correct party, shall we say? A fair few of us have got stories that they can
Family
share in
problems. The
return.
party.
Not everyone. Sesh is fine, and Dustin is fine now. But we've all had our share of family, and family is a recurring theme of what drives us. So I think you'll be well at home.
Well,
I won't push it anymore. Don't worry.
thank you.
All right.
Let's look for yours now, then, shall we?
Yeah. So if I want to start off and looking for like essentially important locations of that area, referring to the histories of Palorian conquest, whatever. The
Make
Crusades.
make an investigation check with advantage because you have help.
You have Google
Mage,
Translate
don't you
helping
put that
you.
evil on
You
me, boy.
have Google Translate.
Mage, don't you be putting that evil on me, you son of a bitch. Don't put that evil on me. Don't do it. How dare you?
What evil? What evil?
Mentioning family. Don't do it. Don't put that evil on me, you son of a bitch.
I was in third person referring to Isaac with one of the weirdest family backstories in the world. You know,
I mean, you're not wrong. Yeah, that's correct.
I mean, I
There's
just
no,
don't put
there's
that
no
evil
worse
on
thing
my
you can
family.
do. There's no worse thing you can do in D&D than give a living family to the GM.
Well, I think it, like the whole dead family thing is really overdone now.
Oh no, I do think the dead family thing is way overdone.
Oh,
that
thanks,
is something
guys.
I'll.
Appreciate it.
well,
Bite
no,
me,
it's-
all of you.
It's
Sure.
Well, it's a part of
As
the
long
thing. I
as
think
Red
Matt-
doesn't mind
Matt
me biting you.
Mercer, yeah, Matt Mercer has said, don't be afraid to have your parents be alive because it's a
Yeah.
it's a very common thing in D&D.
This is a change from my previous character, whose parents were alive and featured heavily in the last campaign in the end, and that was
True.
I didn't.
One of Ustinia's
So-
parents are still alive, so
With 20, they both of them were alive.
yeah, but one of them is still alive at
Oh.
least.
Yeah.
The were in that sentence.
Yeah, we're So you're looking for specific information about the area that you've been
Yes,
told
in a
to go,
correlation
you've
with
been
the
indicated to
map.
go.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're cross-referencing like atlases and histories of the region, and you know it has something to do with the Crusades because your aunt told you last time you were down there. What you find out is that in the location there was a citadel that used to exist. This citadel was the home of an order of Bahamidian knights that that were called the Blue Dragon Flight.
The Blue Dragon what?
Flight,
As in.
yes.
Okay.
You muted, Mikey. You were muted, Mikey.
I think he knows.
I'm just gonna kill myself. It's good. It's fine. Don't worry. It's cool. I was making fun of Mage and it just backfired. And
Oh.
So, this citadel at one point housed the Order, but during the 5th year of the Pelorian Crusade, it was attacked, and most references after that go cold. You even find at one point with a 22, you actually the DC for this by 1. You get a little bit of a hand sketch drawing of the in one of the books of the layout of the citadel as it was back then. And you can tell it sits in a valley that's about a half-mile wide, but the center of the valley has a small plateau in it, so it kind of goes down and then up at an angle. So it's very well in that sense.
I'm gonna use my skills as a cartographer to make to redraw the map.
Okay. And what you can tell is it's got 7 sides to it in an irregular fashion. I actually didn't think you'd get this, so I just have my actual hand sketch of it, which
No worries, we can do it. Oh, it's like a moat and bailey.
yeah. So
Okay.
that's a road going to it.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
those are contour lines. And those
And
are the outer wall.
those
interior.
the buildings in the center, is that like a keep? Are they
Yeah,
joined
there's a major building. There's a major building there. You can see something that looks to connect a smaller building to it. All the major buildings connect through some sort of pathway, maybe a bridge or something. It lists a couple of bits: the main bay, the grand tower, etc. And it has like little watchtowers at each intersection of an angle on the walls, like that raise slightly from that, like a little bastion. And yeah, that's what you get from it. It stated that the order that occupied it was very religious, and were dedicated supporters of Bahamut. And there was even a dedicated non-combat component of the order that were like monks.
Okay, so it was a monastic society as well.
Yeah, that maintained the actual buildings, but there was a combat portion. That these knights that actually would
somewhat like the Teutonic Order.
somewhat, but they
Knights Templar, Hospitaller.
Yeah, any kind of
hospital.
really.
Hospitaller is probably the most likely because they ran hospitals as well. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's kind of what you get from this information. Information of within the last like 100 years is nothing, because there's, as far as you can tell, it ceased being occupied. Crusades. So
That particular crusade. What was the outcome?
well, the outcome was that particular crusade was the Pelorian host had already taken over Paramin in the previous crusade, and was extending its control to the central deserts, or at least trying
Right.
to.
Okay.
But
They
it
failed?
resulted in it resulted in a failure, and 5 years later, the people of Paramin overthrew the Pelorian rulers, which is why the Gallows Bridge is called the Gallows Bridge.
They hang.
Hang 'em high, hang 'em long.
Hung the leaders that used to live in that very affluent district from the opulent bridge that existed there.
From my knowledge as a Pelorian, are we okay to go down there, or am I going to need to ditch?
Yeah,
the
there's
road
no
bridge?
law against practicing Halo or anything like that. It's just
Just don't be a dick.
just like there's no law against being a Christian in certain areas or Muslim in certain other areas. It's just
fine.
Yet.
Judge
Okay.
your
I
Judge
might.
your-
Yeah, well, it'll be under the armor. Yeah, no, I should be fine. Okay.
I'll just be like, oh look, it's
what
one of our
time is it
sisters."
in the day?
By that point, you maybe got 2 hours before nightfall. It's hard to tell because there's actually very few.
Yeah, lights.
There's very few
Natural lights.
windows. Yeah, to decrease the chances of degradation by the UV light.
I suppose I should see if I can find anyone who would know anything about Zagul.
Right, you get like a subdirectory of there's like a whole branch of the library dedicated towards the gods and deities and things like that. You're able to give me another investigation check with advantage. We're helping.
22
Ooh.
again.
22. Okay, yeah, getting all these bastard.
You finally kicked the curse, Isaac. Well done.
Yeah,
what
all we had to
specifically
do
are you
was
trying
leave
to?
the.
What
So
specifically are you
I'm.
trying to get?
We've got who Zagul is, but I'm trying to. This is also possibly finding someone who also might be a specialist in like lesser gods, like within the library. If there's someone I can like arrange a meeting with.
They don't really do that. There's not like specialists on staff. Like most of the people that manage the library just transcribe.
Just care.
Transcribe. They manage, transcribe, and everything. The researchers come to here. That's what.
Okay,
That's what,
Okay,
there'll
therefore
be-
I'm looking for just. We know of her origins, but is there anything that links her to the Grey Wastes, or is this? Is there anything that links her to the Grey Wastes? Is there anything that links her to Palor, to Bahamut? And also any histories of followers of her rising before?
Bahamut
They're the
was her
kind of-
sugar daddy.
That's well. It might be good to know
there
that,
have been, from what you can tell, with 22, Zagul is a very minor deity.
Yeah, which we've come
in
across
history.
before.
There have been cults dedicated to her on multiple occasions. The largest of which was located in Rapkus, about 75 years ago. That you find out it was like a doomsday cult essentially at the end, and instead of being brought down by the actual local government and military, they just ended up dead one day. They found about 100 people just inside of their just dead in the.
Where's Rapkus again?
Rapkus is the southern continent. It's a continent south of.
Oh,
Rivallon.
yeah.
It's the one that looks like a dragon's head.
That's where the Orland Shadow Dragon came from, right?
No.
They nest there in the winter.
The dwarves have like a colony in Rapkus, right? No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they have a colony in Rapkus.
Yeah, that's
It's their largest one. It's one of their largest and oldest. Yeah. The other things you find out is that Zagul, because a lot of the things about back when the gods walked the mortal plane, most of it's myth. You can't really tell the difference between what was real and what was myth. But she was a part of a coalition of deities during the Age of Fire, fought against another coalition of deities during the Age of Fire. Her side was the one that lost, and she then had to abide by the convention, which was to the mortal plane forever, or incur the wrath of all others. It was like it was a thing that like buddy, all deities. It doesn't mention she's particularly close to any deity, any other deities. They followers of Tiamat and Zagul.
Bahamut's evil twin sister.
Yeah, fought together during the Age of Fire. Just stuff like that. You know, nothing too big, like nothing like you wouldn't expect.
Okay.
Yep.
Is that
Bahamut? Disgusting.
With 22. No. Are you going until night, or is that just like the 2 hours that you're spending just doing some excess?
if I get onto something big, like if I find a thread, I'd probably explore it. But if not, no.
Yeah,
Okay.
Mog's the same.
You do find a mention that during particularly Zagul utilizes progenies and avatars as a form of her worship, because she does not have a structured village. So individuals that are particular what's the particular
Paragons?
paragons of her particular aspect, she channels things through.
Hi, Ben.
So, from what you can get, like Liben would be an example of an individual so consumed with revenge and rage that she would be a very apt candidate that would be kind of used and channeled through. So that there are lists of individuals throughout history that were the avatars of Zagul, and it's fairly. It's nothing new, but the powers and stuff that are listed there, like, it's very diverse. It's based very heavily on the individual beforehand. There's a mention of a warrior queen that became an avatar of Zagul, and she became nigh unstoppable on the battlefield. There of wizards that were able to tap into things that they were unable to beforehand, just to get revenge. Just stuff like that, like a very she enhances individual that she feels can help her in some goal.
Isaac, I'm reading about this Zagul, and what happened to incur her wrath that you have to go on this quest?
So, one of the... You know what? It's probably best if I don't say as much of it. Ask Rivallon.
Very well.
Ask Rivallon, and then I'm sure the rest of the story will come from there. But I don't think it's my place to start that story. What I do know is that Zagul has gained more power, and it's been enough to incur the interest of my own god, and
Paylor.
that's...
I recognise the star.
Yes, Paylor. So much so that he seems worried, and that was enough to get me worried, especially when we have this direct link that kind of was affected by Zagul. But yes,
You have
talk
a
to
direct
Rivallon.
link to your god.
That too.
Should not have said that. Shouldn't have said that.
This Hagrid just... I shouldn't have said that.
I am...
Don't
He
tell
goes
me
into
if
a very
you can't.
hushed... No, I go into a hushed tone, and I mentioned before that I'm also not full-blooded. And
I can kind of tell by your eyes.
partially, yes. But essentially there is. We'll put it this way: there's a touch of divinity flowing through my veins.
Very well. We'll leave it there for now.
Yeah, that's.
All right. So,
Hey,
yeah, while that's going on, shopping is happening.
Let's go
Try-
shopping.
We're gonna try and finish the shopping
in 8 minutes. Let's go.
Yes.
Let's do this. Come on.
Speed shopping.
All right.
Let's fucking go.
So, first thing you wanted to do was to find a shop that buys and sells gems.
No, an armor.
Armor first.
Armor.
Yeah.
Okay,
And swords.
Are you? You're
So
wanting
they
to
can
commission-
offload the dragon hide.
So you're trying
All
to
of it.
commission work.
Yeah.
What are you trying to commission specifically?
I want a full plate set, and Rivallon wants dragon hide armor. I believe full set dragon hide armor.
Specifically, they'll ask you, because fuck doing a voice for them in 8 minutes. They're gonna ask you what specific kind of armor do you want from the dragon hide? Are you looking for leather, studded leather? Or are you looking to incorporate it into some other type of armor?
So,
Specifically to Rivallon, who wants the armor.
yeah.
'Cause
So
it's
Rivallon,
there.
do you want it to be like what you already have, or do you want it to be like? Roach, can you say you could get half plate and in that sort of stuff, and it wouldn't give you disadvantage on stealth?
It depends on how you want to do it. It depends. It's specifically how you want to commission it, and then they'll make rolls and stuff, and we'll see how it goes. So what did you have in mind?
Well, you see, the whole point of having the armor is A, to give me a bit more protection, but B is mainly because of what the scales and everything. It gave the dragon a stealth boost,
Okay.
so I could become a scout
All right.
sniper.
They'll tell you this. They can either make something that's equivalent in protection to what you have right now,
Mhm.
and will give you an advantage on stealth check.
I can barely hear you, but
When can you hear me? Are you better now? Like what's
try now.
It's where you turned away. It kind of
Yeah.
cut
Okay.
out because of the gating.
okay? I'm kidding. No. What they'll say is they can either do they'll have your current armor equivalent in protection to your equivalent armor, and it'll give you stealth checks,
Yeah.
bonuses, but only in darkness.
Right.
So only in darkness, or they can provide you an armor plate or an armor made from it that provides lesser protection but gives you stealth in dim light as well. So
No,
it's a
we'll
trade-off between
incorporate.
something. Just incorporate something equivalent to what you have now, but in darkness you get a bonus and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that will keep the adamantine plate essentially, won't it?
Yes, it would.
So you're actually wanting to incorporate what you have right now into that? Because I was saying
That's
something
not
that's
what you-
equivalent.
I thought that's what
I
you
said-
meant.
No, I said something
Oh.
that will give you the equivalent protection. This is a whole new piece of armor. If you're wanting something to incorporate into what you have right now, that's different. And incorporate what you have right now, it's going to give you advantage in stealth checks only in darkness. With that, well, actually, no, hold on. Because if that's the case, then they're going to have to include. I'm thinking how that would work out. If you're
So
if you're
it would be like
if you're
making it
incorporating the adamantine.
Well, wouldn't
into
they be able to just put the
your
plate, put the dragon?
Yeah,
scales
that would be
over the
making it
plate?
like a Milanese brigandine, where they have the metal armor under like a leather, don't they? They
Yeah.
basically encase it in leather, so that would be. It wouldn't be too
But you'd
hard.
still, you'd still have to, because the way that it would lay on the armor and the way that it's,
Yeah,
the
there'd be
way
some
the armor
finagling,
moves
but-
around.
It would turn it into more like a half plate set than it would stay as a breastplate, bro.
So I'll say this: if you want to incorporate the armor into your, if you want to incorporate the leather or the hide into your current armor set, you will receive the same AC from it,
Right.
but the stealth that it will impart on it will only apply to visual stealth in darkness. So
You're basically saying I can either have what I've got now, which would just be like visual stealth in darkness, or I can get an
With
entirely new
advantage.
set made, which will give me the equivalent AC, which would be stealth in darkness. So all the stealth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stealth and dark. Yeah.
But
And
you'd lose the
but you
adamantine
lose the no crit from the.
But it's not like you
adamant.
get hit often enough anyway to care about that.
Yeah. So it's up to you
Exactly.
how you want to go about that. Basically, it's just saying that the new hide armor, if they were to make it, they could make it as strong as the current plate you have by incorporating
So I'd
some
still have
metal
AC
bits.
16, but I'd lose.
You still have
the crit
AC
bit.
16. You'd lose the crit bonus thing, and the reason why is because the stuff that they're going to lay over the armor is still going to have like bits clanking and stuff, but they could soften that and make it easier with just having a full hide
Do you
set
wanna-
that they can make. So that's the thing.
Yeah.
Question
Or
for
you
Rivallon.
take something that's less and you get stealth bonuses in dim light as well, and it's more broad.
I'm wearing a +1 breastplate right now,
Yeah.
which is the same as the adamantine thing without the crit. We could swap, and then we don't lose the crit on someone in the party.
Yeah.
And you have
So
you
you
have a
could-
plus
you
one plate with stealth with
Yeah.
the ability to be stealthy. Well, you would still have
Stealth
the
at
thing
night.
is you're stealth at night, but only visually. So you still like sound and stuff. They're listening.
So what we're saying is you're
It's not
better off
common.
actually having the.
yeah,
new
it's
stuff.
easier to make it wholesale than adapt it. Is what is yeah. It's easier to just
Okay.
make it all from there.
I mean,
than
you can
adapting
take
it
the
from
adamantite breastplate, mate. You may as well use it. We can sell
Yeah,
the
okay.
other one.
Yeah, we can sell my +1.
Yeah.
Okay, so what you're doing is you're having
Or give it
you're having
to
a full
the
commission.
Mog.
Okay, so you're having them commission a full set of of hide armor,
How
of
much?
dragon hide. Well, I'll have to check. A full set of hide armor.
Okay, on you.
It's cheap enough, I think.
I'm not very squishy.
Well, hey, yeah,
what
you might not be squishy, but you don't want to be hit at all. That's sort of how
Yeah,
things
Mog, what are you wearing? DM message me what you're wearing currently as armor, and I'll see if we can, like, by giving you one of the things, like, up the stats even more. 'Cause never say no to it.
To
basically.
commission it fully, they're only going to need a very small portion of the weight of the armor, or what of the hide that you currently have. So, like, you have, I think, 100 pounds of hide, or something like that.
450.
450 pounds of hide. They're only going to need about 50 pounds of hide. They will either require 2,500 gold pieces to make the set that you need, or they'll take the stuff they need plus an extra 50 pounds of hide for payment that they'll use in other things.
Does anyone else want the rest of this hide?
I mean,
No,
we're
use it as
looking
you
to
want.
sell the rest of it, so
Yeah,
as well.
So
use
so
the
they
50
want
to
to buy the
£50
rest as
for
well.
me, and then just sell the rest to them.
They're
Yeah.
willing to buy it, yeah. They're willing to buy it if you'd sell it.
Okay,
all
how
to them,
much
yeah.
would they want for? How much would they pay for the?
Well, it's Orland's Shadow Dragon hide that's been very well treated and is not particularly bad off. So 50 pounds is the equivalent of 2,500 gold pieces. You have 350 pounds. So do the math.
Oh, yes, they can
That's
buy
like
it.
1,250 gold, 12,500 gold.
Yes.
Something like that. Let's see here.
Yeah.
You have you said 350 pounds, right? Or 450?
Yeah,
What
after
is
the
it?
100 for the hide and paying for it.
Which
Okay,
will
hide
start
and
getting
payment
us
for
some more magic
350.
items and stuff, guys. So good money.
So 350 times 2,500, right? Yeah. Or no.
No, it's
so
50.
50 times.
Times.
Yeah.
So 50, 2,500. Do you have to do that 7 times? 2,500
I'm-
times
I'm-
7.
I'm gonna have to drop out here, guys.
7,500
Alright.
gold pieces. Okay,
Next time, buddy.
Utari.
17,500.
17,500.
Jesus.
Yep. So if you're willing to do the hide stuff, that's what you get out of it
Do it.
in
I'd
profit.
say that's a yes. I'd say that's a yes.
Okay. We'll
Um,
mark that down in the party fund if you want, and then you can.
I
work
don't
it
think
out
I have
after.
the ability to do that yet. You may need to give me the option too.
And my cameras have now gone all weird because Utara's left.
Wonky.
Yeah, no, it's same here. Give me
12, 10. Okay, so you now have 18,710
Fuck.
Oh, and we need to split
in
that up.
the party fund. Well, we'll split it
Yeah,
up later.
some point.
That's what it is inside the party fund right now. Just put it in there.
How
So
long
you
for
did
the
that.
armor?
They say they'll be able to get it done in working direct. They are a very highly respected one. They rolled an 18 on that. I'm gonna say they could probably get it done, including fitting, which they'll get your stuff while you're in there. They'll get your measurements and things. They're able to get it done in about 5 days.
5
They've got
days,
a-
that
they've got
works.
it- 5 days, yeah. They get that. The breastplate or the plate that you want, Sesh, they'll probably get that. They're getting your fittings when they got Rivallons, and they're going to adapt one that they already have made for an orc like kind of build, and it's not that different. And they say they can probably get that done in about 4 by just doing some adaptions and getting that worked out. It's not a full commission, just kind of something extra. They got that.
Cool.
So we'll say you got both of those. You paid for that without actually exchanging any money and actually getting some in return.
Oh, I paid for the full plate because obviously
Full plate. Okay, so you paid for that. It's just list price.
1500. Good.
1500, and then you then what was the other thing you wanted to get done?
We wanted to sell off the 2 medium rubies we have in our party sheet and buy some diamonds, buy a couple hundred GP worth.
And a sword.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
the sword.
each-
The,
We might need to.
We'll do
move
that
this
next time.
next week.
We'll do that next time.
Because
We'll
I
get
really
that.
need to go as well. Utari's already dropped. Because I know Utari needs to do shopping as well. We'll just say thank you everybody so much for listening and watching. We will see you. Unfortunately, not next week.
What?
Yeah.
oh yeah,
week after.
that's right.
I'm on a film next
It
week.
just got work stuff because he's,
Yeah.
Maybe just being an actor
he's
and actually
stupid
doing
and has a
things.
life.
I'm
and has a
sorry,
job.
guys. Plus it's been very last minute as well, which is why I'm rushing around. Like I'm leaving my house in 5 hours, essentially, and
Alright,
I've
then.
still got to sleep. So thank you so much for watching. We will see you in 2 weeks' time. It's been fun to be back. I'm so excited, and thank you as well to Commissar Roach for writing and DMing this campaign, and thank you to Rival Zone Gaming for joining me, for Surely Only Mikey, for Utari Gonzo who was here, and for our newest player, Red Moogle, for joining us. Just the hand comes
Disembodied
in.
hand.
And we will see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.